right, grand rising, everyone. Grand rising. Welcome back to Coffee Talk with Karen B. Flat talk, straight up talk, no BS, no punches pulled. I might be feeling a little feisty this morning. I might be, just a little bit. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I feel like I'm finally, finally recovered, I think, today from the event. Mostly, like 95%. Takes a while. It takes a while, but I feel like I get over it a little bit faster than I used to because I'm better at preparing for it ahead of time. And so it's not so bad. You know, it's not so draining because I know that what I'm in for. So I prepare mentally for it better, I think, than I used to. And yeah, maybe it makes it a little bit easier to get over it afterwards too. If you build up those energy stores pre-event ahead of time so that you have it to spend. Just spend it. And then, it's not so bad when you're recovering afterwards because you prepared. And I'm not the best at planning ahead, I have to say. Ted can tell you that. I just do stuff. Like I'm the type of person who I just do stuff. So, let me just go over here and say hello to you lovely people in chat. Over there on Rockfin, I see PSYOP within a PSYOP, Carrie, CB, and Ashley Knopp. Good to see you. And on YouTube's, we've got old Brian Stavely, Melodome, Dan Morris, NH Guy, Chicago artist, Rob Cleveland, Nuss Nuss, that's a new one, Jason Sealander, Spicy Sarah. Spicy Sarah, I got to see Spicy Sarah this weekend. We went out for her birthday dinner on Saturday at this cool place in Greenville. They had good food. It was good. Very nice evening with some flatty friends. Mojo Shop, Jenny B, Commercial Sound and Video. Good to see you. Lowry, Sherry Ives, who I finally got to meet at this year's event. Because that's what it's all about. Meeting people face to face, putting a face and a person and an energy field with that YouTube handle. Because you are not your YouTube handle, right? There's a person behind that. Kelly F.E., Thunder Chicken, Joelle Lynn, Dr. Law, one of my favorite South Kakalaki FE crew peoples. Jenny Bolton, good to see you. Tom Etchison, Flat Earth Matt H. Happy Moonday. Where did the weekend go? Yeah, right? Where did it go? It goes by fast. Yeah, Ted is very good at organizing time, and maybe he's rubbing off on me. I hope so. Because I need more organization. I hate organizing and I'm not good at it and it's boring. But I need to do that. Who else is here? Mike New. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Yes. Oh my goodness. For eyes to see. Hey, Karen B. Good to see you. Sherry Ives. Melodome. Did I say that already? Billingtano. Hey, good to see you. Scooter. Hey, Scooter. Shill Gang. We are the Shill Gang. We all shill for Flat Earth. You guys can't deny it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with shilling for Flat Earth. This microphone keeps flipping over and I don't know what is going on with it. Hold on, I gotta see if I can fix it. Why is it? I don't know. Maybe it's this thing that needs to be tightened. Excuse me, you guys. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Could just keep bumping it. It's a weird thing, but anyway. Yeah, shilling hard for FE. Yeah, Mark publishes his phone number, I know. And then you're sitting next to him and his phone's ringing all the time and he's like, who's this? And I'm like, it could be fucking anybody, dude. You give your number out. Everybody's got your dang number. I could not live like that. It's bad enough that I can't. Dude, are you guys getting all these random BS spam text for vote for this person, vote for that person, this person did this person did that? And I'm like, oh, Jesus, would you please leave me alone? Because I don't care. I don't care. No interest, zero interest in your BS selection process. I just, I can't stand it. I don't, and sometimes I feel torn. Like, I know a lot of people like, oh, you should pay attention to what they're doing because then it, lets you know how they're screwing with us. But I just can't be bothered. Because realistically, they have no power over us. See, that's what you have to realize. Ultimately, that you're going to end up in the same place that it's not really worth your time because they don't have power over you unless you give it to them. And that's where what people really need to be coming to the understanding of is that they have no power over you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to participate in their reindeer games. You know what I'm saying? Everything's an offer. And you just need to learn to make counter offers. Or just say no. Yes, definitely. Hi, Rob the Truth over there in Twitch. Is there anybody watching on Facebook? I forgot to go say hi into Facebook. Nope. Facebook's a ghost town. Facebook is really good at the shadow banning. Hi, Mary Austin. No, we're not playing that game. That's right, Carrie. We're not playing that game. We don't play those games. We don't play those games. I block every one of them. My car warranty expired 500 times. I know, right? Speaking of calls, hold on one sec. Let's get my thing up before I forget my call board.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
There we go. I'm now hosting the conference center. Decimal Z. Hi, Zach. Zach, I was gonna message you the other day. Actually, I was thinking about you, and I was gonna send you a message. So I'm gonna message you later about, well, And also, I was gonna see how you're doing. Hi, DITRH. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sup, everybody? Ted and Brian are going to the gym this morning, in case anybody was wondering. Yeah. Okay. So, you guys, what's been going on? I forgot how I was going to start this morning, but I have a lot of stuff that I've been looking at that I wanted to show you guys, talk with y'all about. Let me see. Where is this one? Oh, where did I have my little notes? So check this out. I think this is funny. You know how Elon Musk bought Twitter, you guys? You know how he bought Twitter? Hold on. And then everybody started freaking out because he wanted people to get their stupid blue checks, right? And he keeps talking about the bots. Oh, there's so many bots. There's bots, blah, 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 on Twitter, right? So his answer to get rid of the bots in Twitter, hold on, let me share my screen. His answer to get rid of the bots is now everybody has to pay their $8 a month, $8 a month for your verified status on Twitter for your tweets to be seen. Otherwise, you just won't be seen. So here, let's listen.
So the way I think about it is that, so I'm trusting you with the future of our country, of the world, actually, when you're in charge of a media like that. So how do you prevent, so being Jewish, how do you prevent this anti-Semitism? Or if I were black, how do you prevent all of the... So how do you prevent the use of the N-word? We should be able to figure out with software how to moderate this and prevent that from happening. Is that true or not?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Totally agree. Temporarily, people have been able to put some hate speech on Twitter, but then it's been taken down immediately. So now, part of what I'm trying to achieve with this sort of enabling everyone to be payment verified with Twitter Blue is to try to get as many people payment verified as possible. It's only $8 a month, although for some people that were complaining about that, and these are people who pay more than that for their latte.
I'm going to be one of your Twitter Blue customers.
Thank you. But like it's part of its revenue, part of it is payment authentication. And so if somebody, because there is a huge problem with spam and bots and trolls on Twitter and organizations trying to manipulate public opinion. But if we can get enough verified users, and we're going to prioritize Twitter search, replies, mentions by verified users first. This is if you're payment verified with blue checkmark, then you're prioritized, and hateful conduct pays. But if somebody risks losing even $8, the net effect will be over time that the verified users will pretty much always be at the top of comments and search, and you won't really see. You'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
The bots and the trolls.
Want to see it gets pushed way down.
Just because you don't pay $8 a month to use his shitty platform, you're now relegated to the status of a bot or a troll, and you will not be seen unless you pay the $8 a month for the privilege of being let through their algorithm so people can see the tweets. So people that follow you can see your tweets or your replies or any of that crap. It's like, I got stuck into buying this shitty platform, so how can I make a bunch of money and screw people over? Oh, this is how right here. How can, yeah, exactly. He bought it to make it worse. Cheers. Thank you for the super chat 5 times 1,000. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I know. The muskrat. Yes. Yes. Nigga. Yeah, the N-word. How do I prevent the use of this and prevent the use of that? Oh, well, everybody's going to pay money. Okay, so you pay to use the platform. This is what I'm getting out of it. It was kind of chopped up though, right? But this is what I'm getting out of it. You pay to use the platform. If you pay to use the platform so that you can, say what you want to say. If they don't like what you say, if you say something they deem to be racist or bigoted or whatever, then they're going to delete your account or whatever, and you don't get your $8 back. Right? But you can pay the $8 to spew propaganda and get your shit seen and pushed to the top. I mean, it's just so retarded. YouTube's already doing this. Yes, I know. Yeah. I have a Twitter. I just use it to tweet out my streams and stuff. But for a long time, I didn't go on there because it was such a cesspool. And I mean, people could add you to lists and group and there was no way to leave it. So I was constantly getting bombarded and put into these like Glober groups where they're like, here's another flatty retard. And then they would just start spamming you. And I was like, all right, fuck this platform. I'm out. Because you can't even like get out of it. I'm like, okay, well, there's no point in that. But then I guess they fixed that. So I started using it again so I could tweet out streams and stuff. And I do like to follow stuff. And it is kind of cool to search Twitter to see what people are talking about, because a lot of chatter goes on in Twitter, like discussion of stuff. And if you want to get a rough idea of what's going on, then you can just search in here. Like there's been some stuff going on in Brazil, right? So I started looking up Brazil, and then you find out it's because they say Brazil was stolen, right? Because Brazil had this president, this conservative president. And look, Brazil was stolen. These are all Brazilians. Look at this. And you find out it's because they had some like ultra leftist person stole the election, right? And you remember Brazil for a long time, everybody has been talking about how the president was awesome and he was doing lots of good stuff that was really kind of against. It was like clear he was not in line with with the New World Order, 100%. Not that I trust any politician, right? But this guy, and people were saying that he might be a flat earther. There was that whole, convex Earth research teams, blah blah blah, quote unquote, that came out of there. But that really didn't go anywhere, and I really haven't heard anything from them lately. But anyway, so there's a lot of people who are upset with the president or the new party that's taking place or taking control of Brazil. And they've been protesting for like the last week. And I don't think I've been hearing people talk about it. Look at this. Look at that. That's insanity. Gotta lower that a little bit. That's a lot of people, man. So that's going on. And so Twitter is actually kind of good for stuff like that. If you want to get like a basic rundown of what people
Lula
are all up in
quite
arms
concerning.
about.
This isn't just a bad guy. This is a really bad guy. Explain how bad this is.
Very bad. He was convicted for 12 years in federal prison in Brazil. And he spent short of 600 days in prison when the Supreme Court of Brazil said there was a mistake during the criminal procedure. They didn't acquit him, but they said there was a mistake and he had to be released.
I don't know what that's about, so I don't want to keep watching it. But they've been saying, there's a bunch of people saying that they want... they're wanting the military to step in and prevent this party from taking control of Brazil. And so this is the protesting that's been going on there. That's a lot of freaking people, man. They don't show you this stuff on the mainstream news. So, I'm not going to say Twitter's completely useless, because that stuff does get out there, but you got to search it. You got to know how to use it, just like anything else. So, right? This is so stupid. It harms people more than anything. One entity I follow needs the check mark because what he and his team does helps people when severe weather hits. Yeah. What if everyone paid the $8? Then who would be on top of all the comments? At the end, he will say, okay, the more you pay, the more visibly... Yeah, right, exactly. Clown show. Yeah. So anyway, there's interesting stuff, but this is all this is kind of interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Brazil moving forward.
Seu estado na sua cidade, vá para a frente do quartel. Vou mostrar.
I can't understand what she's saying. Brazil protesting the rigged election. See? So, there's interesting stuff about Brazil, though. I think Brazil, you know, aren't they on corn ethanol? Don't they like grow their own? Aren't they off petrol? Or am I wrong about that? So like it would make sense. So here, let's see. I'm trying to see. Brazil fuels diesel and gasoline. As of 2013, S10, 10 parts per million sulfur diesel is available in major metropolitan areas and selected stations nationwide. Blah, blah, blah. Brazil has also implemented ethanol and biodiesel standards that are described in the Brazil Biofuels Policy page. Brazil's current standards require a 27% blend of ethanol and gasoline and gradually require an increase in biodiesel blends. In 2004, Brazil started the National Biodiesel Production and Use Program to increase the uptake of biodiesel nationally. The program requires laws, executive orders, and other legal informative measures to introduce mandates, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that is one thing I know about Brazil. It's supposed to be good at not being so dependent on OPEC, as far as I understand it, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so there's that. And I just think it's just, I mean, it's all just a clown show, right? All kinds of election crap going on. So, what's this?
When we, the CIA, wanted to circulate disinformation on a particular issue. Disinformation is not necessarily a lie. It may be a half-truth. And we would pick out a journalist. I would go do the briefing and hope that he would put the information in print. For instance, if we wanted to get across to the American public that the North Vietnamese were building up their force structure in South Vietnam, I would go to a journalist and advise him that in the past 6 months, X number of North Vietnamese forces had come down the Ho Chi Minh Trail system through southern Laos. Now, there is no way a journalist can check that information. So either he goes with the information or he doesn't, and ordinarily or usually, the journalist would go with it because it looked like some kind of exclusive. And I would say our percentage planning that kind of data was 70 to 80%. The correspondents we targeted were those who had terrific influence, the most respected journalists in Saigon, like Robert Chaplin of the New Yorker magazine, Kai's Beach of the Los Angeles Times from time to time, and also he worked for the Chicago Daily News. Bud Merrick of U.S. News and World Report, Malcolm Brown of the New York Times, even Maynard Parker of Newsweek magazine. We would go after these gentlemen. I would be directed to cultivate them, to spend time with them at the Caravel Hotel or the Continental Hotel, to socialize with them, and slowly but surely to try to gain their confidence by dolloping out valid information, information which was true. And then I would drop into a conversation the data that we wanted to get across, which might not be true. One piece of data, for instance, that we managed to plant in the New Yorker magazine had to do with a supposed North Vietnamese effort in 1973 to develop airfields along the border of South Vietnam. The reason we wanted to plant this information was that we were trying to persuade the U.S. Congress that Saigon should should continue to get a great deal of aid, and that the North Vietnamese were the chief violators of the ceasefire accord. That was printed in the New Yorker magazine under the byline of Robert Chaplin, as indeed was a great deal of such information which we tried to circulate. If I planted a piece of information with a reporter, I would ordinarily then try to create an environment in which he could not check the information. I would go to the British ambassador and brief him on the disinformation I had just given the reporter. So when the reporter wanted to cross-check what I'd told him with, say, the British ambassador, New Zealand ambassador, or what have you, he would get false confirmation, the same message coming back at him, and he'd say, aha, I've got proof that Frank Snepp told me the truth, when in fact, what he'd gotten was simply an echo of what I'd given him in the first place, via the British ambassador or other of our friendly diplomatic contacts. I am, as an ex-CIA agent, opposed to the disinformation activities in which I was involved. I admit that I was involved, and I think it served no useful purpose. Propagandizing the American public or Congress is not the CIA's job.
That's right. But that still goes on today. We all know that. Fake news. Fake news. It's not new. Oh, the eclipse. Right. There's an eclipse tomorrow, which is on Election Day. Yeah, we can talk about that. I wanted to talk about that as well. Let's talk about the eclipse. Time and date. Total lunar eclipse. Now, it's not going to be a total lunar eclipse for us, I don't believe. Let's see. So here it's going to be showing you Earth's the penumbra, which you can't even tell between when there's a penumbra and not a penumbra. Like, I don't even know how they measure that, because you can't see it with your eyes. So then here is the umbra. Full eclipse starts. So we're not going to get the full blood moon, but the moon is going to be darkened. But that's it. But we're not going to get the full blood moon effect. So who sees it? Who sees it? It's, oh, okay, so the West Coast will see it. This is who sees the entire eclipse, the blood moon. So West Coast will see it. Western Canada, Alaska, Russia, Japan. So eclipse begins. Yeah. So where is my, okay, here we go. doesn't talk about the eclipse. That's funny. Anyway, so this will be going on in the wee hours of the morning before the election tomorrow. Now, I don't know necessarily that that really has very, very much significance. I mean, it might. They might, you know, try to take advantage of that. But I mean, elections are always on Tuesday in November, and there's been tons of them without an eclipse. So I really don't think that it's like any, you know, special thing. But the energy surrounding the eclipse is really what the deal is, right? The energy surrounding it. Plus, it's midterm elections. It's not even like a big election. No, it's not. The energy has sent my body into detox mode. You know what, Mother Dragon? A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people said that they were, that they started having symptoms after Flattoberfest. I did a little bit, but I mean, it really wasn't that bad. Like, I just had a little bit of a sore throat. And I kind of felt a little bit sore, but it really wasn't that bad for me. Eclipse is tonight. Yes. Well, yeah. Going into, so this is from my area, and this is UTC, Universal Time. And I'm like UTC minus 5 or 6, I think. So maximum eclipse 11 a.m. minus 5 would be 6. Total lunar eclipse is visible from Asia, Australia, North America, parts of Northern Eastern Europe, most of South America. .3D globe map. Look at this is what it looks like. The visible eclipse portion. It's the visible eclipse portion as an AE projection. Let's try something, shall we? Let's see. Is this? So like that. We can put it in an AE projection and look at it that way. This is where Photoshop can be fun. Let's try it. Desktop. Did it show up yet? Sometimes it takes a minute for these screenshots to show up. There it goes. Open. All right. Layer. Okay. You take this filter. Okay, there we go. There you go. That's what it looks like on AE. Isn't that fun? So this is the visible. This is what during the height of the full eclipse, the blood moon. So you'll see it. This is where you'll see it from, right here. Boom. That makes more sense than that other thing. What were we looking at? Let me see. How do I get out of here? Back. Here, the global map. Global map. Whatever that monstrosity is. AE map. There you go. It's an ellipse. Yes, I did. Mars is in retrograde till January. Well, let me check. Oh, remind me later. Now. Mars. That's Mercury. Where's Mars? Mars is over here. Retrograde. Yes, it is in retrograde. Until, what did you say? Until when? January? Let's see. January 1st. Still in retrograde. Let's check the 15th. Direct. So sometime between the 1st and the 15th it goes direct, slow. That's direct, slow, so that's right after it has changed from retrograde to direct. Direct. Let's see. January 8th. Retrograde. 9. Retrograde. 10. Retrograde. 11. Retrograde. So right here, it's going to start going direct. Station, retro. Okay, so right here on the 12th, it starts to go back to direct. Yes. Oh, Ben, you did a wedding, right? What did you call it? What do you call it in the Celtic thing? It's, I forget what you called it. That's really cool. Oh, you haven't done it yet. All right. So anyway, so the eclipse. Okay. So eclipse energy. What is eclipse? What does this eclipse mean? Well, it depends, right? Rebirth, renewal? No. What was, oh, I know who I like to look at. So it's a Taurus moon. Is it Taurus moon? Taurus blood moon eclipse ritual, November 22nd. Well, I mean, we're in Scorpio. Yeah, eclipses carry potent energy that can stir the winds of change in our lives. Blood moon eclipses are total full moon eclipses, but they get the name blood moon due to the reddish hue the moon takes on during the eclipse. The total lunar eclipses are typically not viewed as power times for moon magic or lunar rituals. The energy of the moon is eclipsed, which is why rituals are geared to work with the moon may not be as potent. Eclipses, however, do carry an intensity to their energy. They tend to bring fated or karmic and dharmic. I like to use both. Karma is bad, dharma is good energy coming back, right? There's both. But people always just use karmic. So mainstream sucks. The dumbest name ever. They are calling it the Blood Beaver Eclipse. What? Why is it called Blood Beaver Eclipse? Because, well, every moon has a, every full moon has a different nickname, right? Every full moon has this crap. So, November is the beaver moon. That's why. So, like, look, right here. So, beaver moon is November. So, wolf moon is January, snow moon February, worm moon is March, pink moon April, flower moon May, strawberry moon June. See, like, this came up last June. I remember people talking about it. Oh, strawberry moon. It's not strawberry moon because the moon is, like, pink or red or anything. It's strawberry moon because that's when strawberries come ripe, right? And then July, buck moon. August, sturgeon moon. September or October, harvest moon. Or September, full corn moon. And then, they have a bunch of names for September and October. I'm pretty sure September is harvest moon, and then October is hunter's moon. At least that's what I remember hearing. And then beaver moon is November, and cold moon is December. That's why it's the blood beaver moon, which, I mean, you know, has all kinds of connotations to it. So, it's funny. Yeah, hand fasting. I think that's what they called it. Ben. Yeah, I'll be fasting during the blood beaver. Ha! Yeah, it sounds gross. That's why. Let's see what it says about beaver moon. There's a link. Let's see. The full moon in November is named after beavers who build their winter dams at this time of year. It is also called frost moon, morning moon, depending on the winter solstice. Eclipsed beaver moon, November 2022. In ancient times, it was common to track the changing seasons by following the lunar month rather than the solar year, which the 12 months in our modern calendar are based on. Gee, why do you think they did that? Probably because before technology, they were more in tune with nature, so they looked at what nature was telling them. They listened to nature. That's all you have to do is listen to nature. It never stops telling you the same story. So that's why it's the beaver moon, because beavers are building their dams. Pink moon was named after pink wildflowers that pop up on the East Coast in April. Let's see. Yep. After pink flowers that bloom in spring. The worm moon. It's also the Pascal moon. Lenten moon, crow moon, crust moon, chaste moon, sugar moon, sap moon. Worm moon. What is a worm moon? The worm moon gets its name from earthworms that come out when the soil warms up. The worms provide food for birds and other animals. Ah. So that's like telling you that it's warming up, that spring is coming. I mean, I feel like they could have named that one better. Do not underestimate the beavers. I wouldn't mess with a beaver. Dude, beavers cut down trees with their teeth. Why would anybody mess around with that? Why would anybody do that? I really don't know. Oh. Thank you, Arlette and Annie D, for the tips on Rockfin. Thank you, ladies. Able to wake up early since daylight savings time. The best way to mess with us is our time. Yeah. I'm in New Jersey. I read that I can see the full eclipse at 5:17 a.m. Well, I don't know. Well, you'll see the moon eclipse, but you won't see the blood moon. That's what you'll see. Right? Because we're over here. You're in New Jersey. Over in this area. You won't see the blood moon, but you'll see the moon maybe be eclipsed. It'll go dark. That's what they're saying. So, it is weird though, right? Like there's definitely a difference between how the solar eclipse and the viewing area of the solar eclipse and the viewing area of the lunar eclipse. I always think about this, right? Like the lunar eclipse, the area from which you're able to see it is much broader. It's like, you know, it looks like this, right? It looks like a circle. Now, when there's a solar eclipse, it's a line. There's like a line. It's the path of totality, right? Like you'll see partial eclipses. You can see a partial eclipse probably in a similar viewing area to this, but you won't see a total eclipse unless you're in that very specific line. So, you know, that's interesting. That to me makes me feel like there's definitely two different things happening. Right? That's definitely two different things. Especially because when you think about it, like the solar eclipse can only happen during a new moon when the moon is in line with the sun, supposedly, right? And then the lunar eclipse can only happen when the sun is completely 180 degrees away from the moon. So whatever the mechanism is that causes the solar eclipse, it's different than the lunar eclipse, in my opinion. It just looks different. It behaves different. The viewing area is different. How long it lasts is different. Like, you know, it's very different. So I think it's interesting to think about what are the different mechanisms. Later, Ben. My phone line is open, by the way. I have my phone number up on screen. It's 848-222-2480. Yeah. Beavers are big as fuck too. They used to build on the river that I worked on. I thought they were bears. They're so big. Really? They get that big? A seleneleon. Selenium is a. No, this is. I don't think so. Well, I don't know. If it is, I won't see it. not from my area, but if it is that type of eclipse, you'll have to be somewhere in this dark circle to see it. Right? So yeah, you would have to be somewhere in this dark circle to see it. But I don't know, because, well, that's from my point of view. Yeah, you might be able to see, if you're like up here in these areas, I bet you would see the sun and the moon at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if you guys ever, if you guys remember, some of you might. Let's take a little trip down memory lane back to Steve Torrance. Steve, oh, he changed his channel name now. It doesn't come up under Steve Flat Earth. Oh, come on. I hate YouTube. You can't find shit. Okay, there it is. All right. So Steve Torrance used to do these great animations. And he modeled the luminaries over the flat earth and like what they look like, their path over the flat earth. Did some things where he measured the sun. He's done some cool stuff. So I want to see, I thought he had one. Here we go. That's solar eclipse. Did he do a lunar eclipse? Thought he did a lunar one. Annular solar eclipse from Madagascar. Riding the moon, annular eclipse. You can see I've watched a lot of these videos. I think I've probably watched most of them. Flat Earth celestial clock, like see, here. Putting the luminaries and the clock over. Here, let's slow it down. See, there's the sun and the moon, and you can see the sun getting closer to the moon as it goes around. Let's see. But I thought he had one where he did a lunar eclipse. Let me see. Search. Gotta remember there's a search. Maybe he didn't. What is the shape of the moon? Flat moon, sun and stars. Oh, this is just him testing stuff. Riding under the moon. Great American Eclipse. This is him modeling this eclipse. Let me see. This is... modeled eclipse versus actual video. That was a partial eclipse. Anyway. I can't find it. Maybe, what am I thinking of? But anyway, Steve modeled these, I remember him talking about how he would model these lunar eclipses. Let me just search eclipse. That he would model these lunar eclipses, and in order for the lunar eclipse to work, like you can model it so that the moon body eclipses the sun body and causes the solar eclipse. But in order for the lunar eclipse to work, right, because the sun is not next to the moon at that time and it's a totally different thing, he had to put a third object directly above the North Pole so that when the sun and the moon aligned at a certain point, the the moon would eclipse. And I thought that he might have had that on here, but I guess not. Moon measurements. Riding under the moon. This is where David Weiss got his idea, by the way. He ripped off Steve Torrance. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Remember how David, when you first made the app, and then that one guy would freak out, he was like, you stole that from me, and I made that. I invented the sky clock. And it's like, so you're the creator, dude? You made that? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Something is between the moon and us. Yeah. Yeah. No, but see, no, not Rahu and Ketu, because Rahu and Ketu, that's something different. That's something different. So, how do I explain that? I guess I would have to bring up that Rahu and Ketu. Let's see. Rahu and Ketu, okay, are the ascending node and the descending node. And all the nodes are just places where the path of the moon and the sun and the moon intersect, right? That's what the ascending and the descending node, okay? So the sun has, imagine it like this, like the sun will have the path level and at a constant altitude over the earth, right? It just stays at a constant altitude going over. The moon, which follows a similar path to the sun, but is a little bit slower and is off. It's off. It's like when they talk about the 5-degree difference between the ecliptic of the sun and the moon, it's off a little bit, right? So the moon is going around, but it's going up and down. It's getting higher and lower than the sun. That's creating the phases. Is the moon getting higher and lower than the sun, right? When the moon is lower, than the sun, and the sun's light is going to be illuminating the top part of the moon, which is not visible to us on the plane of the earth, right? And then when the moon goes to the other side and it is now higher, at a higher elevation than the sun, now the sun's light is illuminating the underside, which is the side that we always see, right? So they're both just going around like this. The sun is constant, and then the moon is like doing this type of deal around it, right? Meanwhile, they're both going all around the plane. So that's what that is. And then the ascending node and the descending node are just those crisscross points, right? So if the sun's path is level and the moon's path is at an angle, that where that intersection point is, that's the ascending node and the descending node, right? Ascending, it's going up. Descending, it's going down. Ascending is going above the sun, and descending is going below the sun for the moon. It actually makes perfect sense if you think about it. It explains the moon phases perfectly. That, coupled with like the properties of minerals and fluorescence and heat and cool and like that, I mean, it works perfectly. Makes perfect sense. But did he make some good videos? No, he didn't make shit. Yeah. Yes, David, I know. I just thought it was funny. When I was watching that stream and I commented in there, and that's like because he knew that me and you were friends or something, he just starts going off in his stream about he made the sky clock. And I was like, wow, dude, really? Really? Anyway, whatever. The moon, yeah, it is different altitudes sometime, okay? And that's why there's the libration of the moon is apogee and perigee, right? Of the moon, right? Apogee and perigee. I forget which one is the closest and which one is the furthest. One of them's close, one of them's the farthest, right? When it's at its closest point and when it's at its farthest point. And if you watch like an animation of the moon, like when they put it in a still spot, it's like doing this type of deal. It's because it's actually going around in a circle and it's going up and down. So then that's what it makes it look like that. Where's the, I think didn't Steve had that? Let me go back to Steve's channel. I thought he had the libration of the moon animation. So let's show that. Riding under the moon with lunar libration, right? So let's watch this. So yeah, so if you ever like have seen those animations of the moon where it tells you like what we see of the moon and then it shows the phase going over the face of the moon and the moon's kind of wobbling, that's what it is. Moon libration, apogee and perigee shown September 1st, universal time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock,
no.
rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh, I have to mute that. I don't want to hear that. But anyway. Right? So if you watch the moon, you do kind of see very slightly different angles of it, right? So, but it never shows you a completely different side. Wait, this one is not showing it as fast. Let me double playback speed. Here. Yeah, right. So that's, just imagine this is the moon traveling over the face, and that's the bottom of it. Like, we're thinking we're looking at the side of it. Well, I mean, it's a ball. There is no top, bottom, side, whatever. But it's more like we're at the bottom and we're looking up. So when we see the moon fully illuminated, we're seeing it at a higher elevation than the sun, and it's being illuminated by the UV rays of the sun, and therefore looking like a full moon to us from below. And then here, it will be lower than the sun, and therefore being illuminated on the top side, and so then you don't see it. The only weird thing that doesn't really fit in to that whole explanation is that when the new moon is in the new moon phase, there's never like a hole in the sky, like a black mark where you're like, there's no stars there in the shape of a moon, which is really freaking weird. It's like it's just not even there. That's the weirdest thing I think about the moon. Yeah. It's as bad as FPV Angel claiming everyone steals his research. Oh, I know. I know. And his research is not even that great. I mean, for fuck's sake, he uses the Mercator projection, the flat rectangle map, and then puts a circle grid over a rectangle map. It makes no sense. It makes zero freaking sense. You know? I'm sorry, but I mean, clearly things are going around in a circular fashion. So I tend to think the overall path of things is in a circle. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me why you would use a Mercator projection with distorted poles as your map of reality. Could quantum locking explain why the moon stays on track above the Earth? Quantum lock to the firmament? I mean, it could, but I don't know if that's really necessarily the mechanics behind what's keeping the moon up there. But I mean, it could. It could, if everything is super cooled up there and magnetics and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I mean, it could. There's some very intricate, I don't even know, but there's something that works. It's amazing to think about what could be going on. Yeah. Paddle-tailed bastards. Poor beavers. What are your thoughts on flat earth philosophy? I feel like flat earth philosophy, honestly, is like where we were like 4 years ago. I think he's I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad. I just feel like that's what we were saying. He's saying stuff that was being said like 4 and 5 years ago. And I feel like a lot of us have moved past all that now. We're realizing it's much more intricate. I mean, it never hurts to look into stuff, but I just feel like, I don't know. But I don't know. Anything that I ever watched of his, I felt like I wasn't learning anything, and I was just like looking at stuff I'd looked at like 4 and 5 years ago. That's just me. I feel like there's much more, there's a lot more nuances and things to learn, things that we don't know. No, it's okay. It's cool. I mean, if you feel like you're learning something from someone, then go with it. I mean, everybody's on their own path, right? Everybody is just farting around. I feel like there's so much information out there. You know, I was thinking about this the other day because something came across my path, and I'm like, that's so random that I would even see that. But, you know, I feel like you see whatever information you're meant to see at that time. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of your path of discovery. So, while I don't watch it, it doesn't mean that there's no value to it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. The more I learn, the less I know. Yeah, that's it too. The more stuff I learn, the more I realize that I really don't know shit. but there are things that I come across where I'm like, okay, well, I already looked at all that. You know, I mean, once you start gorging yourself on information like constantly for years, you just get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I've already kind of looked at information like that. I don't need to go back to that. Or sometimes maybe you do. Sometimes you see something and you go back and you're like, well, I might have missed that before. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, who knows? We don't know shit. So anyway, one thing I did learn over the last week, or I'd heard, and I don't know how long this information's been going around for as far as I know, but I was watching a Curtis Stone live stream randomly, like while I was chopping up Flattoberfest live stream clips and uploading them for y'all to see. And he started talking about how there's this way to clear your sky of chemtrails, and it's like super simple and easy. And I was just like, does that really work? And he even said, he's like, I don't know how it works, I don't know why it works, but it does. And he heard it from Amanda Vollmer. And so this is a post about that. So far in my research, oxidation of OH radicals by H+ ions can help to explain why putting out vinegar, acetic acid, as well as formic acid seems to be a player, is helpful in dispelling chemtrail clouds. So far in my experience, I noticed a complete change in the weather above me, compared to the spraying campaigns that were literally non-stop daily over my property. Now I see a normal cloud formation, more sunny days and blue sky, less white haze, proper rain showers, and I barely see any trails at all. I did not get hit hard during the geoengineered derecho that damaged many properties, blah, blah, blah. It seems there is an acid-base chain reaction effect that occurs via evaporation, which can show you how subtle local hydrogen ionic H+ changes can affect water. I now have my humidifier, so I will move from passive evaporation to more active vinegar output to see what occurs. So apparently there is this thing where people are taking like 4 liters or about a gallon of vinegar, just straight up white vinegar, and putting it on in a big pot and boiling it down to like 2 liters, like reducing it halfway, and then just placing it outside, and it will evaporate off, and it has some sort of counter reactivity to whatever they spray. Now, I have not tried this. I haven't had a chance to try it yet because it's been all rainy and cloudy here anyway. But I'm telling you, the next day that I see spraying, I'm going to try this. But what I'm going to do, and Curtis Stone was saying that what he does is he takes a hot plate and you place it outside. Like, you know, you can get those like plug-in, like single burner, like electric burners or whatever. Maybe you could even do it over a fire pit. You know, we've got fire pits out here. We could just do it over a fire pit. But he says it's more effective and it works faster if you just boil it outside, out into the air, and it will literally repel or clear the sky of whatever it is they're spraying. Now, I don't know if any of you have tried this. I have not tried it yet, but I want to try it, and I thought I would share it with everybody because I feel like everybody should try it. And say and tell us what you come up with. See what happens. Like maybe somebody else's sky will clear up before mine, and they have a chance to try it before me. But I'm definitely going to try it, and I'll try to video it and document it and see if it works. But yeah, I like Curtis too. Yeah. See, but I don't know if that necessarily works with the orgone, the cloudbusters. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it does. But this is like basically heating the vinegar, and you know, so that it will go out into the air. And supposedly he lives off solar, so he was saying that he was able to keep his solar going longer and better. Yeah, I know it sounds like BS too, to me. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? It could be that simple. It could be that simple. And it didn't work well, but it's interesting. Annie D, yeah, boil it. Get a hot plate and try to boil it outside. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I cannot confirm or deny the validity of this, but the Curtis Stone off-grid guy, who I don't see any reason why he would, you know, he would feel the need to bullshit people. I mean, it's not like he sells vinegar. You know what I'm saying? But try it, y'all. Try it. Why not? I mean, if you think about it, vinegar is a cleaning solution. It is a cleaning solution. You can use vinegar to clean and kill bacteria and whatnot. So, I don't know. Hey, Trevor7, good to see you. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why it would be BS. Also, he said he got it from Amanda Vollmer. I also don't see Amanda going around and saying something that's a bunch of hooey, you know? She's pretty well researched, and I've never, I don't know. It's worth a shot. I mean, and vinegar's cheap, right? How cheap is vinegar? And you got yucky, disgusting skies above your house, and if it's that easy, I mean, you know. Yeah, vinegar is a good thing. I was going to say, does he sell vinegar? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But listen, I'm just passing on the information. I thought that it was fascinating. I thought, you know, it's worth passing on. I mean, just try it one time. You know, it's cheap. So you could just try it once. If it doesn't work, well, hey, whatever then. Search. So this is back in May. So what are these? Are articles that she links, right? Effects of acetic acid on light scattering from cells. That's interesting. Huh. Anyway, worth a shot. Try it. Can't hurt. Try it once. If it works, try it again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Costco, exactly. That's where I get vinegar there. It's like $3 and you get this big giant thing of it. Yeah, there you go. Cleaning vinegar from the hardware store is cheap and 10 to 20% acetic acid. Exactly. Go to Walmart and get some of that cheap cleaning vinegar and do it that way. Alien urine. Yeah, vinegar, it removes rust. Yes, if you want to clean cast iron pans, if you have a cast iron pan that has rust on it, you can clean that off with vinegar. You can bring your cast iron back to life by scrubbing it with vinegar and then brushing oil over it and seasoning it, and boom, your pan is back in business. Right? Anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. I wanted to share that. Never tried it. Never tried it myself. I would like to try it. I'm going to try it. And so, you know, you guys can try it too. So here's something I was looking at. I was talking to Cammie. I got on a call with Cammie this weekend and we were talking about crystals and stuff. And I was asking her, if she thought that some of these mountains could really be giant trees, or we started talking about Devil's Tower, right? And these basalt columns, okay? Because I started thinking about, I've been thinking a lot about basalt columns recently because of their hexagonal shape and because they show up, a lot of these basalt column land features are actually right on the coast, like right next to the ocean. Most of them are, it seems to be. And then you have the Devil's Tower, which is sort of like an oddball, massive basalt column formation out in the middle of land, right? So and a lot of people swear up and down that the Devil's Tower is a tree stump. Now, I know that trees do actually crystallize. Trees do fossil. They become crystalline. They absorb the crystalline minerals from the ground or whatever, and they become hard. I think that's one way to do it. It also talks about how, like, if the tree is falls over and then is then soaked in a heavy sludge, a heavy sludge with water, and submerged in that for an amount of time, and then it sort of allows like it allows the cell structure of the wood to be replaced by this silica, right? So there's two different ways where wood gets petrified, right? So let's look at petrified wood. I started to wonder, I'm like, are there any instances of petrified wood that have turned into what is the same molecular makeup as basalt? So let's see. Now I know we're going to mainstream places and stuff, but you don't really have to look at, really don't have to pay attention to how it's formed. The more important part is what is known pieces of petrified wood, like for instance the petrified forest that is in Arizona. It's like indisputable that that's petrified wood, right? It even looks like petrified wood. So then my question was, well, what is petrified wood? What is the molecular makeup? What is the mineral that is replacing the wood and making it petrified, right? You can see that this still looks like it has the look of a piece of wood, but it's going to be much heavier than wood, right? And it has these, you see how it's got this like iridescent looking material in these spots right here. That's like an opalization. It's like silica, right? So there's different types. There's a couple different types of petrified wood from what I can find, and I have to look into this more. But like, it's either agatized wood or opalized wood, right? Agate and opal, you know, these have certain molecular makeups. Right? So, where did I find it? Where was I looking? I was looking at, okay, so silicate. Silicate is, I believe, what is, yeah, see, biomineralization. This is like when you see, like crabs and crustaceans and stuff that are opalized, right? This is what is the chemical makeup of what is replacing the biomaterial, right? So, where's that one thing I was looking at before? Silicate. So, where is my... Dang it, I lost my freaking... tab that had the wood on it. Where'd it go? I have so much stuff open, don't mind me. See, remember what I was saying about bad about being organized? Okay, well, here it is. Okay. So silica, calcite, pyrite, or other inorganic materials such as opal, replacing the original plant material with silica, calcite, pyrite, or opal. That is all completely different than basalt. Basalt is considered an igneous rock. It's lava. It's basically the same thing that comes out of lava. Like when you see the lava flows and stuff, when that lava cools, it's basalt. It's basalt rock. Okay, and how rapid it cools and the manner in which it cools pretty much determines its final solid form, right? So when the lava pours out of the ocean, right, like, or it's coming out fast and it hits the ocean and it's cooled off directly, then you see like those bubble formations, right? Like it's cooled down rapidly, right? So it doesn't have a chance to crystallize and form into its columnar joints, which is what you see when you see the basalt columns, right? And I know people are gonna they're like, oh, you're just going with the mainstream, blah blah blah. Well, no, I mean that it is what it is. I mean, when people go and you break down these minerals and their makeup and stuff, one thing is not another, okay? And one thing doesn't mystically, magically turn into another, okay? So I just wanted to see, I just tried to find to see if there was any petrified wood that was basalt. There isn't. There's nothing. You'll never see, or at least I won't say never because I don't know, but I couldn't find any sort of example of petrified wood where the result was the same thing as basalt. It's usually agatized or opalized, and it's a different color, and not. Let's see. Not the same makeup as basalt, right? So I am still out that I don't believe that Devil's Tower is a tree stump. It's an unusual formation. It's definitely different, but porphyry, this stuff is different. What do they call this type of rock? They call it porphyry. There's two P words that they put next to each other to describe what basalt is when it turns into, it's porphyry something. Something before porphyry. Oh, come on. What was that word? Oh, there's so many weird words in geology. But anyway, it's a completely different material than basalt that you'll find in any known pieces of petrified wood, right? So I don't really believe. What was this? Isn't this a cool crystal? This is a pure form of the mineral, one of the minerals that is found in basalt. And actually, it's the other word that I'm looking for, not the porphyry, but the word, man. Can't find that word. Not plagioclase. Something else. Well, there's no other tree that turned into lava rock. That's why I don't think it's a tree. There's no other tree that has turned into lava rock. Yeah, I've never seen basalt columns forming from lava either. But there was I did come across a thing where I read where these people did do a thing. Let me see if I can find it. Where they did their own experiment with basalt, with heating and cooling basalt, superheating and cooling basalt. And they said that because there was between like 1600 and something degrees Celsius is when it had to have formed, because that's when they got the columnar jointing in their experiment when they did it themselves. Let me just see if I could find it. And also, just because it looks tree stump-ish doesn't mean it's a tree stump either. That's the one thing that people have to get past too. Just because something looks like something doesn't mean that's what it is. You know, here's what we have to remember. Everything is of the same base material, and everything is basically subject to the same physical properties, physical forces that everything in this plane is subjected to. Everything follows the golden ratio, okay? That's why we see things that look similar. That's why the veins, that's why our vascular system, our blood vein system looks like trees without leaves, looks like roots in the ground, which looks like which looks like a lightning bolt, which looks like a system of rivers from a bird's eye view, or like a mountain range spreading out, or the Grand Canyon. I mean, it all has that same look because it's all animated by the same source energy. Everything is subject to the same forces, right? So I don't think necessarily, it's not really correct to just say something because something looks like something that it is something. That's my point. I mean, we have to dig a little bit deeper, right, about this, into things like this. They have to be looked at a case by case scenario. So anyway, where was that looking at? What? Let me see if I could find that talk where they talk about how they recreated the columnar jointing. Was it this one? No. Oh, this is the National Park Service. I already have this. That's not the one I'm looking for. Was it this one? Geologic formations. No. Darn it. Did I close? I closed it and I can't find it again. Institute of Creation Research. Oh, I'd be interested to see what they say about what they think happened. But that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. I got too many things open. I want to find that word. It's not porphyry. There it is. This is the word. Faunolite porphyry. Okay, so that's the word, faunolite. Faunolite. This picture right here is faunolite. This is supposed to be crystal, like the purest crystalline form of faunolite. Now look, and I just thought it was very interesting that it formed a six-pointed star. But that tells you that it's on the hexagonal system, right? It's the hexagonal crystal system. And so that makes sense that if this mineral is one of the minerals found most in basalt, that it makes sense that when it has time, it follows the hexagonal crystal system and forms the hexagonal columnar jointing. Because everything is in the crinoid. What's that, Cammie? Oh my God, I had it up last night. No, not crinoid. It was a P word. Well, yeah, I've seen that guy that supposedly finds him in Colorado, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I just am not sold. Now, I'm not saying there weren't giant trees. I'm not saying there weren't, but I'm not 100% sold on it. And I don't believe that Devil's Tower is one of them. It's something else. It's a big freaking mystery, but I don't think it's a tree. Just because it's that the rock that it is made up of is not the same stuff that you see when you find petrified trees. Crinoid fairy stars. Let's see. Is that what you're talking about? What are those, Cammie? What's the significance? Okay, I think Karen doesn't know that the ancient trees that supposedly ended up petrified were silicon-based trees, not the carbon-based trees we have today. Okay, prove it. That people say that all the time. Oh, they were silicon-based trees. Prove it. Why do people say that? Like, you can't just say trees were made of something different back then without any proof. Like, you don't know that. You're talking about a time when you weren't there. You don't know. You know? I mean, I'm sorry, you just don't. I mean, do you know how many times that I've seen rocks where they take these beautiful agate rocks and they cut them in half and they split them in there and you see like a beautiful landscape in there? That doesn't mean that they're, you know what I mean? Like, we see these visual similarities all the time, over and over, repeating in nature because they all have the same, they're all created by the same thing. It's like the artist's signature. It's like, that's how you can tell that you're in this creation created by the creator, right? It all has the same signature. Well, neither do you. But you can't just say stuff. You can't just go around saying stuff like it's fact. See, this is my problem. And maybe this is the problem that people have with me. Like, I'm okay with, talking about stuff, but it has to fit in reality. Show me how that works in reality. Show me how that can work in the real world. You can't just say words and phrases like it's true because it is like a confirmation bias to your fantasy world that you've built up in your mind that you think happened. Like, I just don't get it. It's right. Everything is fractal. Yeah, it is speculation. And I don't mind speculation, but let's just be real about what's speculation and what is not speculation. Okay. Like saying Devil's Tower is a tree stump. That's speculation. 100%. Nobody knows. Like, even mainstream, they have their theories. Like, they'll sit there and tell you what they think it was, but they don't know. At the end of the day, they don't know. And everything that I looked at about Devil's Tower, they say really, they don't know, but they think this. They even say that. It's like they're not trying to, I don't know if they're like necessarily trying to deceive people on purpose. I think it's pretty much it's understood that what Devil's Tower is and how it formed is a big fucking mystery. It doesn't mean that that it's a giant tree. And I'm not saying that there weren't any giant trees. I'm just saying I've yet to see something that I think that is provably like evidence of a giant tree. Because there's multiple explanations for the stuff that we're seeing here. Tree lives matter. A lot of this stuff stems from the early Warren on Ewar documentaries, and we all know that he's now admitted that he got carried away and may have gotten a lot wrong. Yes, precisely. That's actually, I'll be honest with you, I was not a fan of those documentaries because I was seeing what was happening. I was like, boy, this guy's just saying anything and everything. And I get, like, it's interesting and it's fascinating and it gets your mind wandering. It gets you asking questions and stuff. But you really have to just be careful about that. How far how far away from reality you can go. And it's very difficult. It's like when I sit here and think about all the stuff that's gone on over the last like 7 years and where people's focuses are going, it's really fascinating to see what's going on with people. Like, a lot of people, they just keep looking for like some other big major discovery. Like they're looking for this or for that, or what's the next major lie. I mean, there are a lot of lies and stuff, but some of it to me seems like futile. Like it's just another distraction. It's like it's distracting people from doing, work on the present, on what's going on now. Like, okay, we've all just found out that we're lied to, we're oppressed, we're poisoned, we're this, we're that. So now how do we fix it? How do we get ourselves out of it? How do we start coming up with solutions for ourselves? Because nobody is going to take the time to do that for us, right? They're taking the time to fuck us over constantly at every turn, right? So we need to start thinking about and doing things for ourselves right now in the present, right? So sometimes to me, like even talking about this stuff, like even entertaining it is like such a waste of time for me. It's why sometimes I just bail on it, because I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. Like, what am I going to sit here and argue with you when clearly you've already sort of, developed this belief system for yourself that what you think has happened, and you're only looking for stuff that's going to confirm that. Like you're looking for confirmation bias. You don't really care about what really happened or having any sort of discussion or seeing it from somebody else's point of view, So a lot of these conversations, I just bow out of, because it's just not worth it. If somebody just wants to look for confirmation bias and just go, nuh-uh, well, I'm not gonna participate in that, He did not separate possibility, probably, and reality out of conscious, called them all real. Who's that, Cammy? Moon rocks look like petrified wood too. Yeah. So yeah, I know there's a couple different types of basalt. I was looking into the different types of basalt. Anyway, long story short, I just don't feel like, because when I was talking to Cammy about this, I was like, well, what do we know of petrified wood? Does it ever turn into basalt? Is there anything that is close to basalt that is considered petrified wood? And there isn't. So it's a different material. This is an anomaly. One project I think I want to do though, because the basalt columns are so unusual, like it's such an unusual formation. I am very interested in like taking the AE map and marking every location of known basalt column formations and like seeing where it is. It's interesting to me. So anyway, is formed of a rare igneous rock, faunolite porphyry, and is the largest example of columnar jointing in the world. So even this type of basalt it's unusual. So there's like a few different unusual things about Devil's Tower. Like, it is weird. It's a freaking mystery. It's different. I just don't think it was a tree. And I know I'm such a hater. Oh, don't poo-poo on my giant tree parade. There are big trees, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Because everything grows, right? Everything on this plane grows, right? And so how is it growing? What's making it grow? Well, the same thing that's making everything grow, right? It's got to be the same energy source, right? So one thing I'm noticing is that you're seeing similar growth patterns, across different things. Just my opinion. If it was a tree, there would be more of them. Kim Ray, excellent fucking point. If it was a tree, there would be more of them. There are no other features like Devil's Tower anywhere else on the plane. So if it was a tree, it couldn't be the only tree, right? Because what we know of flora and fauna on this plane is that if there is one, there are others. There are many, right? So that is an excellent point. And I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but I love you for saying that. Because that's an excellent point. If it was a tree, there would be more of them. You would be like looking around and being like, there's another one. There's another one. There would have to be more. Because there's never just one of a certain type of tree, right? There's always like more around, or a grove or a forest or anything like that. Of course, but then they're going to bring that back to No Forest on Flat Earth, where they tell you every mountain is a tree stump. And then that is just going too far. I mean, come on. That video just drove me nuts. It's good to ask questions. It's good to go investigate this stuff and try to like figure out where the lies are. But we've got to be really careful with making these blanket statements and making assumptions and stating things as true when they're not. This maybe Devil's Tower. Me personally, and I think a lot of this stuff could be explained by by a flood, a worldwide flood. Think about the petrified forest. Maybe that's when the petrified forest became petrified, was during that flood. And at the same time, that was when whatever happened here possibly. Maybe that's when Devil's Tower got exposed. Maybe all of these things are just, I mean, look, this is their theory about what happened. They think that this was all covered by rock, like the land surface so many millions of years ago, right? Which doesn't make sense if you talk about, like, if you think about what they tell you about how they aged, different periods, they go down like lower in the rock level, right? So obviously that means nothing, but this is their idea of what could have happened. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just saying I'm not convinced it was a tree. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. What's true today may not be true tomorrow. There's more basalt column formations, but none of them look like that. None of them are like tree stump looky. They're just like all over, like on coasts and stuff. Right? Like here. Right here, look at them on the ocean. This way with this river going through it. Like a canyon. I didn't realize that how many places around the world there really are with basalt columns. There's some in California. They're in Ireland. They're in Thailand. Iceland. This one's in Iceland. Like, they're all over the place. So I think it would be interesting to sort of map where all the basalt column formations are, but they certainly don't all look like trees. And look at this one here. You can see them growing. Look at even horizontally right here, right? So this one, when it formed in all sorts of weird looking shapes, right? These are horizontal. They're not even always, look at that. So it's just fascinating. I mean, I really didn't know how that there were so many of these, but none of them are the same shape like whatchamacallit, Devil's Tower, though. Devil's Tower is the only one that looks like that. See? And then you can see all the parts that have broken off over time. And this one you can even see the layers going horizontally. I mean, and that's how rocks grow. That's how rocks grow. That's how crystals form. All mountains are made from basalt. Yeah, they're not all made from basalt. There are different types, and it's like, you can even different regions have different types of stone as their base, which in turn, that's why when you see different ranges, they have different visual looks. Like sometimes you can look at different ranges and they'll have a very specific look, like their mountains are following a different, they all kind of look the same. Like if you look in the Sierra Nevadas, like there's Half Dome, a lot of them are like rounded on top, right? They're round, And then if you go to like other mountain ranges, they'll have a lot of pointy peaks, right? They have they have like a strong octahedral or tetrahedral influence in their system from whenever they grew, and that's when you get those points. What else was I looking at? Yeah, see, so here is Half Dome. And you can see, it's got these like plates, layers, Anyway, yeah. And I also thought it was interesting too, like looking down the valley here, you've got a dome sheer face here on the right side, right? So this is half dome, right? And it's split right here. And then on the opposite side, you know, it's got the, there's the North Dome. It's almost as if now, and another thing too, like I feel like when all of this stuff was forming, it was happening very fast, very rapid. Like right now we think about things moving so slow, like none of this stuff moves, right? It's just always been there as far as we're concerned. But I feel like at the creation, whenever this place came into existence, right? The crystal, the masses, the rock congealing in the giant super saturated slurry, right? This is happening very fast, and also in such a violent way that it's like you can almost see where the rock would have formed and grown into almost like a botryoidal form to form like the rounded shape on top, and then because the pressure of other stuff growing or things still forming, it's splitting, right? It splits apart and comes up, and then that's it. That's where it ended up. I mean, to me, I can like see it happening in my head, you know, and I know people get all upset. They're all, oh, I hate crystals. It's not crystals. You have to think you live on a globe to believe we live in a crystal. But crystals is literally the majority of what this earth is made of. And I think, and again, this is why I think they marginalize crystals. They made it like, you know, associated it with ridiculous psychics and trippy dippy hippie BS, you know, because to understand this is to really understand how this place works. A crystalline substance, a crystallized rock, or one partially crystallized as granite. Okay? When I say that the mountains are crystalline, I'm not saying that the mountain is a gemmy crystal. I'm not saying that inside every mountain is like something pretty, like what you think of, what you automatically think of when it's crystal. What I'm saying is that the mountains are just hardened material from creation. That's literally what they are. They are hardened material. It is material that is congealed and become hardened. Like, look, crystallize. Crystallization is a process by which solid forms where the atoms and molecules are highly organized into a structure known as a crystal. Some of the ways by which crystals form are precipitating from a solution, freezing, or more rarely deposition directly from a gas. Okay? So, when something crystallizes, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's becoming like gem quality crystal. Okay? It's hardening. It's becoming solid form. Okay? Now, some of the mountains have pretty rocks inside, and some of them are just gray rocks, like right, something that you don't consider anything special, nothing that's particularly attractive to the human eye, but it all forms the same way. Okay, the same way that you get that gemmy little translucent crystal that you wear for jewelry, or the diamond in your ring. It all forms the same way as the mountains do, the rocks in the garden. It's just that the crystally gemmy ones have the most pure concentrated amount of that particular mineral, and it happened to have the perfect conditions to form in its most translucent, purest form. That's by chance. That is called entropy. That is what this whole universe, that's what entropy is, the randomness of nature. Sometimes it creates beautiful things that are super gorgeous, like, you know, that you can't even imagine, that you just pulled it out of the dirt. And other times it's just another brown rock or another, mass of gray rock that means nothing. It has no special value. If you polished it, it would just still be a gray rock, right? Nobody cares about it, but it all still formed in the same way. This is what I'm saying when I'm talking about mountains being crystals. I'm not talking about every mountain underneath is black tourmaline. Like how David was saying that, right? Like all mountains are black tourmaline. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you go into El Capitan, you're going to find pure black tourmaline squirrel like this underneath there, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying it just formed in the same way, which is why it looks similar, right? Because that's how rocks form. They grow. They grow. And at some point, before everything was the way it is now, it had to start somewhere. And this is why I like going back to that description in Genesis of the waters. There was a formless deep, and there was just, you know, nothing there. The formless deep, the supersaturated crystal slurry. Minerals are crystalline. Highly organized is the key phrase here. Yes, thank you, Cami. Highly organized, right? So when they're highly organized in a very organized fashion, that's when you get those beautiful crystalline shapes and they start to express the sacred geometry in a very visible form that makes you look at it and go, ooh, ah, right? But it all was made the same way. No, there wasn't. There was other trees. That one was just the biggest tree. Yeah. Where's the Iwaran on backtrack video? I don't know. Now, though, they make videos under conspiracy graduates on conspiracy graduates on Flip. It's not on Rockfin. It's not Flip Flop Radio anymore. Anyway, all of these things form the same way. So I'm not saying that inside every mountain is a beautiful gemmy crystal. Okay, so get that out of your head. Quit twisting my words. But now let's just take another look though. So mountains are giant crystalline structures by definition. Okay, they are minerals that congealed and hardened into a crystalline form. Now, are they all gemmy crystals like super shiny? No. Some of them are conglomerates. Even granite. Granite technically is crystal. Okay, but if you go, but if you look under the definition, like the scientific accepted definition of a crystal, granite does not qualify. Why? Because it has 3 or more different crystal systems in the same formation. So therefore, it is no longer considered like an official crystal, right? So even though, you know, you have those nice polished granite countertops, right? You polish them, they're shiny. I got granite in my bathroom. It's beautiful. And like you look at it different way and there's little different flecks in there that shimmer and shine, right? Obviously, that's crystal material, but granite itself is not considered a crystal. It's like a stone, right? And that's how they differentiate, right? But they're all rocks. All of them are rocks. Some are prettier than others, and they all form the same way. This is what I'm trying to get at. So anyway, and what was I going to go with that? Oh yeah, so now here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes the mountain is a really gemmy crystal inside. Sometimes that is when we get stone quarries or like a marble quarry. So I like to go with marble first because I went to Italy and I took a drive through Carrara, Italy. Carrara is where the biggest marble quarries are, okay? So you guys have all seen marble, right? Now, marble is not, marble is like a fine, I don't know, is marble considered a crystal? I mean, it kind of is, but it's not really, like, it doesn't form in like the highly organized way. It's more, I think it's more amorphous. But we'll get to other ones that look like this. But look at this. The entire mountain is marble. The mountain is marble, and they're literally cutting slabs off the side of the mountain to make marble tiles, marble counters, anything marble comes from this. This is where it starts. It's literally taken off the side of a marble mountain and then processed and polished and put out into the world to be used for whatever. Right? And they're all over the place. Okay, so now let's look at this. There's other types too. Labradorite quarry. This will really blow your mind. This is labradorite, right? Look at this. How iridescent and shiny. Like, boom, right? Look at these big giant chunks of labradorite. Oh, look at here. Labradorite. It's like the whole thing is labradorite, right? So sometimes the crystal does form the size of a mountain. And that's where we get stuff like this. I mean, look at that. So you can't say that there aren't mountain-sized crystalline formations, because literally there are. So let's look at this. Any stone quarry, right? Where they're harvesting, precious stone, crystals, right? It's literally because there's a mountain of that crystal, a mountain-size amount, right? So it does happen. They just aren't all like super pretty or worth cutting into slabs and using for stone and decoration. So anyway, I just would like to pass that on to anybody who wants to think that I'm talking shite. I'm not. This is literally an understood thing, okay? I'm not making stuff up. That's what it is. And to me, it's just, it's obvious. And I don't see why there's a big argument. I mean, I don't know how you could think any of that stuff is melted brick buildings, for one thing. I mean, and this is like why, Anyway. So I was also looking at this, pyramid-shaped mountains, because there's a lot of mountains that are pyramid-shaped. And then, like there's one that was found in Antarctica. But there's a lot of pyramid-shaped mountains. But a pyramid shape is a platonic solid natural shape. It's called the octahedron, the octahedral shape, or the tetrahedral shape. This is a natural shape that is formed by nature. It should not be a surprise that there are mountains that resemble pyramids or pyramidal shapes. It doesn't mean that they were cut that way. There's a few different mountains that look very much like pyramids. One thing you got to remember is that man imitates nature, right? We're imitating nature. The platonic solids, literally, is the creator teaching man how to build. That's what it is. It's showing man what to do. And then we imitate it, and then that's how we get our cool stuff. There's a crystal and mineral convention here in town. What crystals or minerals should I have in my home? I'm a bit new to this. Whatever you like. Whatever you like. Whatever you like. What's my proof of what? That the platonic solids are the building blocks of nature? Oh, I don't know, because you can get crystals right out of the ground. Because they come right out of the ground like this. This is not a polished crystal. This is a fluorite octahedron, and they grow like this naturally. So that's my proof, dude. Nature is my proof. It's all right here. You can find it yourself. I mean, this is a green garnet. Formed in that very precise mathematical shape with angles. Nobody made that. It grew like that. That's my proof, dude. Right there. The crystals that come out of the ground. This is what I'm saying. You don't... You know what I'm saying? Here goes a piece of aquamarine. Oh, look at that. What is that? It's a hexagon. Right? I mean, that's the proof. It's everywhere. Yeah, you can make stones like that. That's artificial stone. Yes, you can make artificial stone. Absolutely. You can. That's why I think it's sort of futile to go around trying to like date stone or age this or age that. It's like, pfft, good luck with that. So anyway, I think it's fascinating too that there's so many stones or so many mountains that are pyramid shaped. But it's just a natural shape that is made in nature. I find stones all the time in my backyard that are pyramid shaped. I'll have to go get some maybe, and I'll show them. I can show them to you. But I find stones like this all the time. All the time. Hermes claimed he grew the emerald tablets of Thoth. Really? I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Do you want to talk? You guys want to talk about crystals? Crystals are not molded into shape. They grow like snowflakes. Yes. They grow like snowflakes. So anyway, Ollie, you're invisible. Am I not visible? Stones and crystals have energy. Yes. Actually, a crystal is literally trapped light and sound. It's light. It's like, it's like, it's trapped energy. It's, I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but it's like when you take crystals and you apply pressure to them, that's when you get the piezoelectricity. Like if you take two crystals and you smash them together and they light up, that's piezoelectricity, right? So they do. They always have, they do have energy, different energies. It just depends which crystal, depends what type of crystal it is. It depends what color it is. I usually go with color first. And then, it's all color coded. It's really simple. It's like Roy G. Biv, right? Red, orange, green, yellow, blue, indigo, violet. And each of those is correspondent to one of your chakras. And then the chakras are all correspondent to different things, different aspects. And so whichever thing you were wanting to work on, you would find out if you really want to hone in your crystal therapy, you would figure out whatever the issue is that you want to address, what chakra it's related to, and the color of that chakra. Then you go and you find, stones that are that color. And then you wear them, you meditate with them. And then the crystal, that crystalline energy, that energy of that crystal will bring back into alignment that chakra, right? Like when you see people like laying down and they have all the chakra stones on physically on the chakra as they're laying there, it's what they're trying to do is to bring the energy, the frequency of that chakra back into line where it should be, because we are, easily influenced. We're flesh, we're flighty humans, we're emotional. All that light column, all those chakras get blown out of alignment. Things happen, knock certain chakras out of alignment. So if you find that, the idea behind it is that crystal, that being placed on that chakra will bring that chakra back into the frequency where it needs to be. It'll help kind of bring your energy back into the alignment of where it needs to be. So that's the idea behind crystal healing. Yeah. Yes, different crystals have different property. I also have some books. I mean, that's like a basic way you can do it. I do have some books too that talk about like different correspondences. Like, if you want to work on something, for every obscure mineral you could possibly think of. But just in general, that's something to do. That's something to think about, as far as crystals. Now, if you want to have crystals that connect to like your higher self, or you're trying to, that sort of thing. If you're working with lighter energies, you're wanting to raise your vibration. That's when you would use something like quartz, right? So here's a nice big quartz point. Let me see, I'm going to change my thing so you can see better. So here's a big quartz, right? White quartz or clear quartz. Clear quartz is like the best all around crystal. Like if you're gonna, this is like good to have just in general. Clear quartz is good for healing in general, all types of healing. You can use it for your crown chakra. And also, most importantly, it's an amplifier. Quartz is an amplifier, white quartz. So when you have white quartz and you pair it with another stone, the quartz will amplify the energy of that other stone, right? So like I have this green garnet. So if you were to like do like a crystal grid or something and you put these next to each other or one in front of the other as in the center of the grid, the clear quartz is now working with this to amplify the properties of this one. So clear quartz is a good one to have, to start with, and it's pretty relatively inexpensive. Yeah. And then, so anything like a lighter color is going to be like the lighter energy, right? So here's another piece of quartz. This is a beautiful piece of quartz I got at a show with Cami, and this one has some green tourmaline growing inside of it, right? So there's some like green tourmaline crystals inside of here. Quartz and tourmaline are buds. They grow together quite a bit. So I love this piece. This one's really cool. I feel like it's really good for, your heart chakra and just healing in general, good heart energy, because green is the color of the heart chakra. And then crystal, the clear quartz to amplify it. So this is I love the energy of this one. But then you'd also don't want to keep those near your computer because it is an amplifier. Like I keep these on my shelf over here because I don't want this quartz crystal sitting here amplifying the EMF being put off by all my equipment, right? So I don't keep them right next to my computer. I put them up here. The only thing I keep by the computer is a shungite pyramid. This is supposed to scramble harmful EMF. Does it? I don't know. But I just keep it there. Because why not? No, nothing will keep growing because it's not in its slurry. There's no material for it to keep growing. Once you pull the crystal out of the slurry, it's done. It's done growing. That's why the mountains don't keep growing, because they're done. Once the material has been absorbed and there's no more material and there's no more, and the conditions have ceased for that to happen, it stops. So no, it will not keep growing because there is no more material for it to draw from and grow with. There has to be dark energy. Well, yeah. Okay, so like you get like a crystal that's black, like black tourmaline, or smoky quartz, right? So here's quartz, but it's smoky. But it can also be almost black. I've shown you guys this piece before too. This is a piece of smoky quartz I found on my property, and this sucker is like almost black inside in one of these spots right here, if I can get it to focus. There it goes. Right, you can see how dark it is inside there. This is smoky quartz. It's just a raw mass though, where you get this. But it doesn't mean that these crystals are bringing dark energy, right? It's not that it's bringing you dark energy, it's protecting. These are protection, right? Whenever somebody asks me if you want, what crystals protect you from bad energy, well, that's dark. Any dark crystal is used in particular for protecting from bad energy, for grounding purposes, for grounding your root chakra. Okay? So that's what the black, like, I have a black tourmaline necklace and a black tourmaline ring, and sometimes if I'm going out, and I know I'm going to be out in the world for a little bit, I'll put that on as like a protection for protection, to keep, negative energy away from me while I'm out doing my thing. So there you go. Crystals only grow under certain conditions, yes. I have a piece of lodestone. You guys want to see lodestone? It's naturally magnetic, a naturally magnetic rock. I don't know. This is what could be like if you read the description of what's in the North Pole, right? High black cliffs, right? El Rupus Negro, the cliffs that are high and black. Now this isn't really black, but you could see how lodestone or magnetite, if it were in a mountainous form, you would be like, whoa, that's a big black mountain, right? And it's naturally magnetic. So could this be in the North Pole? Could it be one of the, because there's two magnetic poles identified in the center. So could this be in the North Pole? Could it be one of them? I mean, it could be. What's your favorite? What's my favorite? Are you kidding me right now, lady? What's my favorite? I don't know. They're all cool, man. I can't pick a favorite. It's like asking me which one of my children is my favorite. Are you kidding me? I don't have an answer for that. Yeah. This is a really cool one that a lady gave me last year. at Flattoberfest. It is gorgeous. This is a moss agate sphere. I love it. It is absolutely gorgeous. I like this one. It's green. Anyway, I don't know. What's my... I don't have a favorite. They all have their own different energy and their own different properties and their own beauty. It's like impossible. Impossible to pick a favorite. I do have this green tourmaline that I have in a necklace. That's one of my favorite crystals that I wear a lot. And I don't have it here right now. But I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, now they are releasing lab-grown diamonds and is the... Yeah. The fact that they have lab-grown diamonds should tell you that what they tell you about how diamonds form is a big hunk of bullshit. Big, giant hunk of bullshit. My favorite child is the one I don't know about. Moldavite. You know, Moldavite is not... Moldavite's not really a crystal. Well, I guess it's considered a crystal, but it's not like a highly organized crystal system. It's considered amorphous, like a glass. Yeah. See that? It's a glass. But it is supposed to be one of the most intense energetically wise crystals, and I would like to get a nice piece of moldavite, but man, that stuff is expensive, and you got to make sure you're not getting duped, right? You got to make sure you're not getting duped, because it is not cheap. Wow, look at that giant piece of moldavite. Woo, doggy. These are big pieces. That would be super expensive. That would be ridiculously expensive. But it is supposed to have amazing metaphysical properties. Really supposed to help with psychic ability. You know, higher understanding, that sort of thing. But yeah. Yes, it's a glass, as Cammie says. Do they need heat to grow? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sorry. Here. Moldavite. So like these... There's certain places, there's websites that are like specialized in selling moldavite and it's all certified and blah, blah, blah. It ain't cheap. Tell you what. This item is sold. I wonder how much they sold it for. Look at this. That's a really cool piece right there. Wow. Wow. Anyway, yeah, moldavite is very expensive. And it's only found in one area, I think in Russia. I want to say Russia. No, that's not desert glass. You're thinking of Libyan desert glass. Desert glass is a totally different color. I'll show you desert glass. Yeah, see, this is the desert glass. It's like yellow. It's got like a yellowish hue. So this, like when people talk about that, like that might possibly be pieces of the firmament. I'm going to go ahead and say no. This is just, it could just be where lightning has struck in the desert and created these little chunks of Libyan desert glass. I mean, I don't know, but that's what that is. What do you wear for protection when you come home, considering Brian Stavely is there? Yeah. Amethyst and Moldavite? Ooh. Is it from the Czech? It was somewhere over there. Somewhere in like Eastern Europe is where it's all from. But yeah. I haven't even been looking at my call board. Nobody's on there. Ocean Jasper is awesome. You bought one of Ben's green tourmaline places? Nice. They have to sing to release the crystals from their veins? That's fascinating. What is that about? I've been going around FE streams asking for FE proof. So far, none. Hey, what's your name? Lejla? Here's the thing. If you want to prove the Earth is a globe, go out and fucking do it. The rest of us got up off our butts and we went and searched out the answers to our questions. And then when we searched out the answer ourselves, then it's like nobody... That's why we're all so stubborn, because nobody can tell us any different, because we figured it out. We went and tested it for ourselves. We went and did long distance sight tests, and we realized that you can see much, much further than you should be able to on a globe of the given size. There is something that is called the geometric horizon, which should be there if we live on a globe the size that it is given. So go do yourself a favor and go search up Earth Curve Calculator, okay? Go find a spot where you can do a long distance measurement or a long distance sight test with somebody else. Get a buddy if you have one, and you guys each have a mirror, okay? And go flash each other across this long distance with the mirror. Keep the mirror as close to ground level as you possibly can, and when you see the other flash, you'll know that the Earth is not a ball, because you shouldn't see it, but you will. So just go test it. Just go do a test yourself. And then you'll know that the Earth is not a ball. You don't just come around here in the chat. You think we're going to be able to explain to you in the chat why the Earth is not a ball? Go do some work. Go figure it out. Go open your eyes. Get up off your lazy ass. Quit being spoon-fed a bunch of bullshit. Are you just looking for somebody? Did you get tired of the bullshit from somebody else and now you want to come over here and just eat bullshit? You don't want to do anything for yourself? You just want to believe what somebody else tells you? You shouldn't be doing that. Why would you sit here and try to and just do that? Go do the investigation yourself and figure it the fuck out, like the rest of us did. Jesus. These freaking lazy globies. I've been going around asking for proof and there's none. There's none. Yes, there is. It's all around you. Go look. Nobody can show it to you. You have to see it with your own eyeballs. You know what that is? Observation. Go look. Not all globetards are trolls. Just the idiots that come here and say stupid shit like, I'm looking for proof of the globe and there's none. Or no, proof of flat earth. I'm so used to saying there's no proof of the globe. Whatever. Yeah, just go look. Try to prove the Earth is a globe without NASA, you know? Try to do something for yourself. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Queen Bee.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Nothing much. Just calling to get your mind off that troll. Don't worry. It's nothing but a troll.
I know. I'm not worried.
Coward troll.
I know. It's just funny because they just
they never come out.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's just funny because they always come over here and go, "Oh, I'm looking for flat Earth proof," and there's none. It's like, what? You're not going to get it in a chat of a live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like that. If that's all it takes to convince you of something is to have a little back and forth in the chat live stream, well, you know, we know where your standard of proof is, especially if you believe you live on a globe. You have the lowest standard of proof that there is needed.
Absolutely. These guys, and mostly they're guys, hiding behind the screen. You can look at their channel. The kid only has one sub, and he's playing Minecraft. No matter what age you are, you're still a child if you're playing Minecraft. I'm sorry, in my eyes. But just get you off the topic. Cool things down. I sent the video of Peter Jarvio to Tommy, that flat fellow, and he's posted one of them, and he's going to get more out. So I just want to let you guys know that all in chat to check out that flat fellow's channel. Mm-hmm. And I've sent Peter a text to give me information about his schedule, and once I get that, I'll get it out to you. And I'll try to get him to send it to you directly. That way you can post it. And, you know, so for whoever is around the campuses that he goes to do flat smacking, come out there and stand with him. I mean, you know, it's Flat Earth is moving along, but I feel that it's when you get out there to see what he's doing and to see all the indoctrination these kids have in college, you're going to be blown away. It's still the highest mountain that we have to reach, you know, and the ceiling hasn't even been touched. So for these kids who are so blinded like these trolls in the chats, no matter what you tell them or show them, they just need one video from these other trolls, page shields, agents, or whatever you want to call them, gatekeepers, to prove you wrong. So with Peter, if you're near him at the college that that's near you, go out and stand. You know, you don't have to let him know that you're a flat earther. Just go listen to his interactions with these kids, and you're going to be kind of disappointed, but he does great now. Don't get me wrong. He does really good job of flat smacking, getting them, you know, his approach is really good. But the indoctrination, cogdiss is very, very deep. You know, when I was there, I stood to the side and I spoke to some of them, try to answer their questions, and a couple of them stood there, you know, an hour or 2 hours just talking to me, and whatever I tell them, they get it, they take it in, and then they just repeat back what they've been told, you know, and it's just very disheartening. But he does reach a couple, you know, every time he goes. So having said that, you know, you guys check out that flat fellow. He should be putting out some more, and we need to be supporting this guy who's out there, you know, on a weekly basis, doing what we can't do, you know, what we want to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so shout out to Peter Jarvio. Yeah, he does great things. I see here the Peter Jarvio full interview. Okay, and so and Tommy also has video of him at the college. Yeah, at the University of South Carolina. That's my alma mater. And I know some of the kids that go there. I ran into one of them. And, they look at me now like I'm stupid. But, hey, it's all right, you know, because if we don't open our mouths, you know, it's going to be a worse thing that'll come from that than opening our mouths and, you know, right, and let them realize it for themselves, right? Exactly. And also, I was going to say, about Flat Tower Fest. I'm getting withdrawals, but I heard the next Flat Tower Fest is going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, 23. The word on the street is. There's a lot of words on the street. I can neither confirm nor deny any of these words yet. But maybe Solar Return, Part 2.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe. It's really hard to put something of that size together, and like twice a year, it's hard. I don't know.
Right. I get you.
I would like
But
to
what
do
if we do something else?
Well, like what?
Sorry. I don't know. You get something together, in between Flattoberfest to Flattoberfest. Throw something in there. I'll be there. Whatever you got, I'll be there.
All right. Well, we'll think of something.
Just slap something together. Yeah, slap something together, Queen Bee. And I think a lot of us will be there just to have fun, or here's an idea, Queen Bee. Let's get the park for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. We could do that.
And just do something like that. And, we can raise money for the community, with the foods that we sell amongst ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
And everyone benefits and we all have a good time. Just think of something like that. We can all do it. We'll help you. We'll make it worth your while.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, well, I'm open to it. We'll maybe we can think of something cool to do.
Cool. And also, I'll be up in Spartanburg, Bowling Springs, the first weekend of December for my son's soccer tournament. I'd like to throw just a meet up, with us, at my brother's house. We get Sarah, Cammie, Bob, Zach, you, and Eating Machine, Ted, the Eating Machine Summers, Brian, and I'm going to reach out to a few out there in Greenville. Maybe we can have something over there, or maybe we can rent the pool clubhouse that we can have a meet up there at his place.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm sure we can come up with something.
Yeah, because, I'm getting withdrawals already. And Spicy Sarah and Griff, they weren't there at Flattoberfest to enjoy, so maybe we'll give them something to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what I need to do? We were going to do a baby shower for Kai.
Yes.
Remember?
I'm meaning to ask you about that. You've got to give me a date. You want to do it then? Because I'll be there. I can do some fruits and...
Because Austin was asking me if we're still going to do that because they're trying to plan to do some like family visits. And so he was asking me when we were planning the baby shower, but then I haven't planned it yet. So we need to pick a day and do the baby shower.
Well, I'm going to be down at the beach over Thanksgiving to build a porch for my aunt. But December, that first weekend, I'm there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want, we can throw it there at the pool house. I will call my brother. If you just text me, and once I get your text, I will call my brother and have him reserve it. If that place can hold at least 50 people, and I'm game for that.
Okay.
Okay,
so
and like I said, we have a lot
3rd?
of people in the Greenville, Spartanburg area.
Yeah. So the weekend of December 3rd?
Yeah, the 3rd is a Saturday, the 4th is a Sunday.
Yes.
Either day works fine for me. I will stay, late. I'll have 2 cars. My son's going to come in another car. I'll have mine. I'll bring all my cooking stuff, and we can cook and just take it over there.
Okay.
And I'll have the food for everyone. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, and anyway, just give me a call and we'll talk about it, and what you want to do. I've got the food and the fruits covered, and maybe, for whoever else, don't want to donate or whatever, maybe set up a GoFundMe or Cash App for the child and for the baby, and we can give them something there,
Yeah.
Okay. If you can do that, that'd be great. I'll get the other end. Okay.
Okay. Should we just plan on December 3rd?
All right, Queen. Hey, I'm already game. I already told you I'm already game for that,
December 3rd, everybody, tentative date for Kai's baby shower. Everybody listening. Sarah, Spicy Sarah, I see you in chat. Cammie, everybody local, just saying. All right.
Absolutely. We'll get other people. We got Jana down the road.
Yes.
Like James and Najla.
Mm-hmm.
My
James
we have
and
a lot of,
Najla
I'll
have
get
not
some
been
other,
feeling well.
flat earthers to come.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do something nice and small for us, and we'll have a chill out time. We can do some music inside there. Let me talk to my brother. I will talk to him today about it, and I'll let you know. Okay, I'll text you if it's a go for that day.
All right, awesome.
But right now, let's plan it. If it's not there,
If it's
I'll
not
get him
there,
to
we can do
his
it at
house.
my house.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be. How far is your house from Bob and Cammie or Sarah's?
30 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad for me. I can do that. Definitely, I can do that. Let's plan that. Like I said, I'm only my brother's house is only 5 minutes from Spicy Sarah's, and then the clubhouse is right off the road. It's a nice big clubhouse, got a pool in the back, but they're closed now. But we can probably get that pool, pool house. Okay.
Okay.
All righty then.
All right.
That's
Sounds
all I got.
good.
All right. Laters.
Thanks, Law. Talk to you later.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I'm going to text Austin right now for December 3rd and see if that's okay with them. So we could do the baby shower. Yes. Dr. Law is always putting the pressure on. All right. Oh, yes, that's right. And I almost forgot. Brian's doing a meetup at where? At Longboard Restaurant, Huntington Beach, California, 3 p.m., November 16th. Sorry, Brian, I forgot to shout your meetup out, but there it is. November 16th at the Longboard Restaurant. Remind me, and after this, I have to put it on my meetups on the website. I keep forgetting. December 3rd. Yes, everybody who's local, December 3rd, we're going to do baby shower for Kai in Austin. And I just sent him a text. So hopefully that day works for them. If not, I'll let you guys know. All right? All right. Yes. Prove yourself it's a ball, dumbass. Yeah, exactly. What actually is Moldavite? Moldavite is a glass. It's considered a glass. Well, I'll show you. We'll just look it up real quick if you guys want a little bit more of a explanation on Moldavite. Moldavite. I guess I'll just look at Sheeplepedia for a basic explanation. A forest green, olive green, or blue-greenish vitreous silica projectile glass says it's formed by a meteorite impact, probably in southern Germany, that occurred 15 million years ago. It's a type of tektite. Okay, obviously that is a bullshit story. They have no idea how it formed. They have no idea why it's there. But in 1900, Franz Eduard Suess pointed out that the gravel-sized moldavites exhibited curious pittings and wrinkles on the surface which could not be due to the action of water, but resembled the characteristic markings of many meteorites, whatever. He attributed the material to a cosmic origin and regarded moldavites as a special type of meteorite for which he proposed the name of tektite. So they think that it's formed from meteorites. This, to me, is just another thing that could have been part of the creation, like when it created. Because think about it. Think about how big the Earth plane is, right? Think about how freaking big it is. It's huge. The world, the whole world being formed at the same time. I imagine this as an extremely violent process. Like, I just imagine just the things, mountain-sized things coming out of the water, growing, changing in a very fast process, things happening, electrical processes happening. Who knows? Who knows, really, right? Because obviously none of us were there. But I just imagine the formation of this place itself being a extremely eventful, violent, what we would even consider cataclysmic looking thing. Like, just, can you imagine it on that big of a scale? Like what I was showing you guys last week with the crystals growing out of the water, but but being like a little itty bitty thing, and watching all of that happen around you, basically the whole plane of existence coming to formation around you. I imagine this being a very dynamic, violent process, personally. So to me, when you have these like little one-off little areas, like this area where they find Moldavite, I mean, to me, that's just, it's the entropy of the universe being exhibited, right? So just like, it's like that 1.6618 ratio, right? When you watch a plant grow, the plant grows straight up, but it's spiraling, right? And then it almost seems like there's a random arm growing out as it spirals up, right? But that's not random. That's the 0.618, which is an approximate number, right? Even when you look at stuff, when it's the golden ratio, it could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. The 1.618 is an average. It's an average. It's not the exact thing, but it's like, it's the average that nature follows. This randomness, this random that looks random, but it's not. It's like it creates a natural entropy in the universe where sometimes things this happens here and sometimes this happens there, and sometimes the rock is gemmy and sometimes the rock is an opaque brown piece of shit that nobody cares about, and sometimes this tree grows into something big and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it grows in a wonky place and it grows sideways and it doesn't live very long and it dies. That's the natural entropy of the universe. That is the 1.618. As it spins around and it seems random, it's not. It's doing it in a non-uniform way to create the natural randomness of nature. And this, to me, when you have these things, like this one little area where you're finding these Moldavites, that is the beautiful entropy, natural randomness of nature showing you, hey, look what came about of my beautiful randomness, right? Look at this little surprise I made for you over here, or look at this other surprise I made for you over there. It's just one of those things. And it's meant to be a mystery. It's meant for that, it's meant to give you that awe, that surprise, that wonderment, that, oh, look at that. That's so cool, right? Like if everything was super predictable and everything happened in a uniform fashion, there would be no surprises. There would be no shock. There would be no, oh, look at that. There would be none of that. There would be no wonderment. There would be no what's going to happen, and that is the natural randomness of nature, entropy, that 1.618. It's like, it's not completely random. Like there is like a sort of order to things. Everything's got to follow the same, laws of physics, the same natural laws. But at the same time, it's still random. And that's what creates that wonderment, that never-ending sort of chance of what can happen or what can be found or what can be created. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Did you leave crystals by the mic? I'm hearing a buzz. No, you know what it is? It's probably my call board. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, how's it going? It's William. I'm on my deliveries and just started listening. I listened a little bit this morning, about an hour. I think you're talking about the moon. But it sounds like you're talking about the golden ratio or the Fibonacci thing, sounds like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
The 1.6, yeah?
Yeah.
So I was reminded about something random that happened to me. I don't know why this popped in my head, but I remember when I was probably 8 years old on a farm, and I was going into the milk barn, and you know how some of those doors have a veneer on it and it pops off in the weather when it's real old wood?
Mm-hmm.
So I had pushed it open, and obviously there had to have been a wasp nest under there. And so a wasp came out and stung me right in the eye, and that was so random, and it hurt so bad. And I was not full of wonder. I was angry. I wish God had not made wasps at that moment in time. But yeah, my eyes swelled up like a cyclops. And I remember being in the doctor's office, and, you know, I'm like 8 years old, right? So, you know, I'm in pain and I'm crying because it hurt. And he wants to know if it was on my upper lid or lower lid. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, I have no idea. My eye is swollen shut and I'm in pain. But anyway, I don't know why I said that. But now I can look back and I guess it was a good thing it happened. I don't know. It made me tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, hey, so the reason why I was calling, yeah, I was trying to get people to laugh at it because I sure as hell didn't laugh at it back then. But it was amazing, though, because the next day, like, I thought I was deformed for life. I mean, have you ever seen someone get stung in the eye and how it swells up?
Yeah.
It's, like, kind of scary looking.
Yeah.
And, well, I thought I was deformed for life. And then yet the next day it was totally down to normal, and it was really weird. But, yeah, it hurt pretty bad, that's for sure. But I did not hear, so supposedly there's a eclipse tonight of the moon?
Yeah.
On the West Coast?
Yes, you
but
get
I
a
didn't
blood
hear
moon.
the time. I didn't hear the Pacific Standard Time. I didn't hear you say that.
Well, probably because I didn't say. I don't think I did say that.
All right. Did it give a time, or is it...
Yeah, it says that the maximum eclipse time, well, let's see, this is from my location.
Pretending you're in your old home, your old stomping ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to San
Wasn't
Francisco.
that somewhere in the Bay Area? Oakland?
San Francisco, right? It says, isn't that convenient for you guys? It's like 3 a.m. for you guys.
Oh, really? 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep, 3 a.m.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be up there. Unless I go to bed at like 6 o'clock and then get up.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah, these blood moons happen right in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. All right. So what else have you been talking about? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Been talking a little bit about everything. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. Stuff and junk.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to say hello to everybody on the West Coast and all those truthers out there. I hope it's truthers that are listening. And you probably should be level-headed again after your high of the Oktoberfest that wore off.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you're on a nice, even keel. And I don't know who listens in. I'm going to say hi to David Weiss. He was on Globebusters the other day. It was cool to hear him finally.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Jaron if you're listening. Shout out to Jan. I don't know who else is called in, but yeah. So I'll just keep listening. I just wanted to check in since I was on the road, and it looked like you were still going live.
I am. All right, cool. Well, thanks for calling.
All right. Yeah, Karen, hopefully I'll call them all night. We'll see what life does.
What, Strange World?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yep. All right, peace out, and shout out to Mark. You think Mark listens to you?
Sometimes, but it's a little early for Mark.
He's probably playing pinball in his basement.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's doing. All right, peace out. Thanks, Karen. Bye.
Oh, it's funny. I used to love Faith No More. Why are you guys talking about Faith No More? How'd that start? My work in the financial markets combines the 1.618 ratio and the Fibonacci sequence and stuff, which has shown excellent results when laid into the seasons for a time axis. Huh. I've heard that before. It's funny how many things actually, I am staying on long. It's funny how many things actually follow the golden ratio. Like even in music, when there's a song, right? You know how when you listen to a song, there's the beginning and then the first chorus, and then there's a second chorus, and then there's like this sort of change up part where it's like the climax of the song, and then it goes back to the chorus and blah blah, and then it ends. Most of the time, where that part falls is in that division, that 1.618 division linearly of the golden ratio. Like if you laid out the song on top of that part would fall where that divide happens, because it's you know, a lot of like sometimes we like really symmetrical stuff, but really most stuff when it's most attractive, it looks symmetrical, but it's also at the same time following the golden ratio. There's something about that proportion. It's like so attractive in any form, like visually, audibly. It's just the natural way that nature works. It's the natural entropy ratio of nature. I think that's why it's so attractive to people. I think that's why people love it. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, good morning, Karen. It's JM. How are you on this wonderful morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, just watching the crazy world, because, you know, tomorrow's a big day.
Right. Big election day.
I know you and Brian and Ted will be out there going for the Team Blue, right?
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes, exactly. I probably won't.
But I wanted to say,
leave my house.
Oh,
wait,
go ahead.
I'm going to have to leave my house. I just remembered I have an appointment tomorrow that I have to go to. But it has nothing to do with voting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. Well, thank you very much for sharing those videos you've been sharing from the Flattoberfest. I was listening to the Benjamin Balderson yesterday. Really liked a lot of the things he was talking about. It was very interesting looks at how the sun and the moon work, and very, very, very nice that you're giving that out to people who couldn't make it. Shame on those bad people who couldn't make it.
Yeah, I know. They all suck.
They suck.
That's funny. But yeah. And then I also have, I'm still waiting for the guy who recorded it all high def to send me the good videos. Then I'll start releasing those as I get them. But yeah, it was cool. It was a good time. It was one of the best events so far.
Are you going to be releasing the one with One Big Love as well as Chief Crow?
Yeah, but I'm waiting for David's videos on that, because I feel like the sound on my live stream just isn't that great. And he's got it to where the sound is excellent and the video is excellent. And I think for like music, it's better to have it that way rather than like the ghetto live stream audio. Because, you know, the audio is the important part.
The ones you've been putting up, the audio is really, really good. And the video is really, really good from the ones that you were putting up.
Yeah, but then when it's like a music, it's just not as great of audio that way. It works okay for the speakers, but...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, whenever they will be being released, yes. Whenever I get them from the guy.
Oh, nice. Oh, I had a friend of mine that I was hanging out with for a little bit this weekend, and I know he's definitely not a flat earther, but he mentioned something about how magical this universe is, and he starts talking about, he looks at me and he goes, do you realize how we're spinning and moving in all these directions, and it doesn't feel like we're doing anything? And I'm like, okay. And he starts talking, he goes, the earth spins around. I said, yeah, the earth spins around at basically almost twice the speed of sound. And he looks at me and goes, what? I said, it spins around at over 1,000 miles an hour, according to NASA. Oh, okay. And then he starts going through how we spin around the sun. I said, yeah, it's 6,666 miles an hour. And he's looking at me like, huh? Doesn't know any of these numbers. And I keep dropping the numbers on that we all know, and it was funny just to see his eyes. And then he looks like he was second guessing himself, and he goes, well, I don't know what those flat earthers think, are we some type of pancake just hurtling through space? And I just smiled and laughed and went, interesting.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you ever reveal yourself?
No, because I could clearly tell, that because one time before I mentioned something and was bringing up something that without coming out and saying it, and the reaction I got from him, and I looked at him and I said, oh, well, what is the problem? He goes, it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. So the spinning ball thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. And what's funny is we've gotten into deep philosophical conversations and all other things, but he gets very plugged into the system. And then the one thing that blew me away was, I don't know, about a month ago, he starts talking about politics with me. And then it turns out he's definitely full team blue. And we started talking about the stuff going on in Ukraine, and I'm just laying out facts. This. Why are we spending all this money? He goes, what are you, for Russia? Are you for Putin? I'm like, no, I want to know why the fuck we're spending all this money over to a country that we have no goddamn treaties with or agreements with. Can you explain that to me? What the fuck are we doing? Well, so you're just all about the money. Well, we got problems going on here in this country. Why the fuck are we sending all this money and military equipment overseas? Can you explain that to me? Oh, sovereign nation was being taken over. Not our fucking battle, man. Go to any city in America, tell them how much money we spend a day on fucking NASA, and see what one city could do with that money for a month to help out some people that need. And I'm not talking about just give them money all the time. I'm talking about to actually help people get to a point in their life to where they can actually clean up some stuff they have going on and get things moving again. But that's crazy talk, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much better with magical CGI, right?
Of course it is. Everything's better with magical CGI.
We've got to have it. Where would we be without magical space, Karen?
I don't know. Where would we be?
I saw a commercial. I don't remember where I was, but I saw a commercial. They were showing some girl walking up to a space shuttle at the Space Center or some crap like that. And then the next thing is they show her putting on, the metaverse goggles, and they're like, yeah, and this is becoming a reality in the metaverse and all this other bullshit. I'm like, how long is it going to be till we have these people that put on the fucking stupid goggles and get in their own little lost magical computer world that are going to literally believe they're in a real world.
I don't know. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. You go so quiet, and I'm like... Are you still there?
Yeah. No, I'd tell Mr. Stavely, yes, I agree, Skate or Die was an awesome game. Sorry, I saw Brian. Wow, talk about video games. Okay.
All right.
Well, as always, Miss Karen, thank you very much. Definitely want to give a shout out to that crazy Brian Stavely feller. You know, he's getting on an airplane, probably going to kill a bunch of nanas on his trip to California.
Yep.
Nana killing son of a bitch.
Yep.
Definitely give a shout out to No Despair Bear.
Yeah. Is he in chat? I didn't see him.
And then that Ted feller.
Yeah.
That Ted feller, you know, you got to get him on some McDonald's and maybe some Burger King.
Oh, right.
Be good for the boy. Get him drinking some Coca-Cola, he'll be all right.
Oh my God. I'm so glad he doesn't do that.
And yes, Vegas, I think, is a great place for the next Flattoberfest.
Awesome. Does that mean you're going to show up?
Yes, I need to go to that one. Things just got too stupid with the whole, I don't know if you know what's happened in the wonderful world that I'm in, but yeah, shit's all sideways, upside down. And it's funny because if people would actually listen to what the controllers tell you, they've literally come out and admitted they want to break the economy. Mm-hmm. They want to break shit because they're going to go back and fix it. The feds have literally just fucking said this. Well, we know how to fix it. Don't worry. We got quantitative easing. We'll start buying the mortgage-backed securities again after we break everything, and then we'll lower the interest rates. Mm-hmm. That sounds to me like problem, solution. Doesn't it sound like that?
Oh, of course. Like everything else.
People don't pay any attention. I'm like, it's all made up fantasy shit anyways. Look at here. I mean, how much of this reality is real other than the fucking earth that we walk on and the trees we grab and the people and animals we come into contact? I mean, in reality, most of the shit they tell us is bullshit.
Of course. Of course. Yes, it is.
I come to a show like yours to find real fucking science being performed. You turn on the other stuff from the science people, it's all fucking pseudoscience. Bullshit. You'll at least come out and say, hey, here's my theory, here's what I'm looking at, here's experiments I've done, here's my theory based on the experiments I've done. But these other motherfuckers with their pseudoscience bullshit, well, trust the science. You got to move at the speed of science. What the fuck does that even mean?
It means you got to do shit before people figure it out. That's what it means.
Lie and run away really quick.
Right.
And then ask for amnesty. Because, they're asking for amnesty now for the lockdowns and the mask and the shots. They want amnesty. They didn't know any better.
Right. Yeah. Forgive us. We didn't know. Yeah. Right. Whatever.
How about we be as forgiving to them as they were to us?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Alrighty, Karen. Love you guys as always. Have a good one. And stay out of trouble and watch out for all them crazy long-haired hippie people and all that other stuff.
Okay, will do. Thanks, JM.
Later.
Yes, please, Vegas. Then my wife will want to go. We're planning on Vegas. It's already in the works. I'm already working on it in the background. which is pretty fast because usually I don't start doing my next event until like after the year ends, but I'm already working on next year, so it's happening. The manifestation has already begun. The work's already begun. All right. Viva Las Vegas. Oh, there's no Despair Bear. I think it'll work out well. I think it'll be fun. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, while JM was talking, I was looking at more searches related to Devil's Tower. Sharp edges and continuing relatively smooth planes of Devil's Tower feature could lead one to believe at first this is a human-made structure, but if we study Devil's Tower, we notice several things. That many but not all of these columnar structures are irregularly curved, irregular dissimilar curves on Devil's Tower. The curves on Devil's Tower columns are both regular. The degrees of curvature changes in a single column and dissimilar curvature changes from column to column. Therefore, we have two pieces of evidence that these kind of columns are natural. One, irregular curvature, and two, dissimilar curvature. For further evidence of naturalness, in this particular case of pentagonal and hexagonal columns, there is a well-known faceted shaping of cooling substances from starch to magma. Drying starch forms geometrical columns in a controlled experiment. So, the most likely explanation for the Devil's Tower geometric features, which do have an artificial look at first glance, is that molten magma upward intrusion in the Earth's crust cooled while still underground, crystallizing into faunolite porphyry. Faunolite porphyry, say geophiles and lithophiles, is similar in composition to granite but lacks quartz. The faunolite part of the term attempts to speak of the ringing of the rock when a small piece of it is struck. The porphyry part of the term accurately names the unique texture of igneous rock consisting of the large crystals. So this is what the rock looks like of up close of Devil's Tower. But you know what was really caught my eye? Look at this picture. Like, you always see pictures of Devil's Tower from the point of view where you can see all the rubble, but I didn't realize that all the rubble was all on one side. And like over here, there's none. Isn't that weird? And like how the whole tower itself kind of has, it's like almost pointing in the direction of where this rubble is. That's weird. I just find that just seems really interesting to me. Like, it's not the rubble, like, you know, whatever this is from, like, why is there big piles of rubble at the bottom of Devil's Tower, right? So this is really weird that it's all on one side, and I'm just trying to, I just find it fascinating. That has to do with something with how it was formed. That all the rubble's all on the back side of it. I find that so fascinating. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Cave of the Spirit Bear. After party at Rob Cleveland's house. Yes, October is the perfect weather for Vegas because it's not like blisteringly hot. Looks like an incense cone. Yeah, I never seen that side either. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. Why? Why is there only rubble on one side? Or why did it all go to one direction? That's so interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? That's got to be a clue, right? That would be a clue, I would think. Okay, so let's look at it in the maps. So right here, Devil's Tower Visitor Center, right? So if you go to the Tower Visitor Center, you're right here, and here's all the rubble, all on this one side. And then there's like almost none over here. That's so strange. So what happened? Did something come from this direction when it was forming or formed? I don't know. It almost looks like something hit here. Who knows? During formation. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's so weird. Hey, you know what though? It goes in this direction. I mean, to me, it's just like, you know how all the land masses seem to fit together? How they are shaped and they tell you that Earth was a Pangea? Like, maybe it was for like a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like during when it formed, maybe it was. And then they all continued to grow. And then the higher, more elevated parts split apart as the formation grew from the bottom up out of the supersaturated slurry. And then everything separates. And it could have been. There could have been a Pangea for like a minute. Who knows? And then like, you know, just think about it. Think about how the scale of the world being formed in a short amount of time. How violent. How crazy. Something. Drone footage. Let's see if there's something like that on YouTube. Let's see. Devil's Tower drone. Here we go. Ask and you shall receive. Hopefully they don't you know, copyright me. Oh, this guy's only got 400 subs. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of cool. So look at all these different formations here. Wow. Oh, so here's the top. Look at the top of it. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what grows at the top of Devil's Tower. Seems to look a little different at the top, right? Like it's not as orderly as it is down here. Maybe because the top cooled faster than the stuff in the center, right? Because you need that controlled, perfect environment for it to cool slow enough to where it can form into those columnar joints. And then at the top, look, it's all messy. It's like it cooled faster. That is so weird. What was around it? So that I mean, it does kind of make you think maybe there was something around it. That's so weird. The answer is devil's lettuce. Yeah, I don't think it's a tree. I just don't. It's a huge mystery. There's definitely some mystery surrounding it. I just don't think that the mystery is that it's a tree. Yeah. The shrooms you might find up there. Well, don't shrooms grow in cow shit? There's no cows up there. So how could there be magic mushrooms up there? Looks like a mushroom stem. Yeah, but you know, what they talk about, like how those certain things that, you know, they have to have the right temperature. So if it cools too fast, I mean, it's really weird that as you get to the top, how these columnar joints become much more irregular and it's not so defined. Right? Like, that's interesting to me. As you get towards the top, those columnar joints just become more blah. And it looks almost more like lava. Lava-ish. So, we'll see. Special devil cows. Yeah, I know a lot of people like to go around saying that the structure is petrified fiber from a tree, but there's no other petrified tree that petrifies into this particular type of stone. I just went over this. It's faunolite porphyry is the type of columnar basalt columns that make up Devil's Tower, and then no other place is there any other petrified tree that is known or positively identified to be a petrified tree that petrifies into this type of stone. So that tells me that this is not a petrified tree. That, coupled with, I showed you all of the other basalt column formations that happen to mostly be around oceans and on coastlines that do not form the same tubular stump-like shape that this one does. This is the only basalt column formation that is in this shape. And it's a special type of basalt, faunolite porphyry. It is not agate or opal, which is typically what petrified wood turns into. It's either agatized or opalized wood. Completely different makeup. So, you know, I mean, now, of course, maybe this is the only one. Okay, maybe it's the only one that ever did it. It could be. I will leave that caveat in there. But from everything I'm seeing, I just don't think that is a giant tree stump. I just don't. I find it very strange that all the rubble's on one side. It makes me wonder, like, this was formed, it almost seems like it was formed rather quickly, right? And then exposed by some sort of blast or some sort of thing that happened. I mean, it's just so weird. Who knows? But like I said, I just imagine the creation of the earth to be a very violent process. I don't know how else to describe it. Does this make sense to you guys? I just imagine it to be a very violent process. So there's all kinds of gnarly, violent shit happening when the mountains are being formed, when the ranges are being formed, when, you know, all of this stuff is coming up out of the deep, the great formless deep, and it is forming, right? This is going to be a violent, crazy, insane process, you know? And it just lends to the wonderment of this beautiful creation. I don't know. You know, I just find it so funny that people have to spend so much time on this, like, you know, going into this and like building this whole backstory, this unfolding this fantasy story, you know, to go along with stuff that they find. Like, this looks, I don't know what this is. What is this? Natural sandstone? Natural sandstone or the Yonaguni Monument. I don't know what this is about. What's the Yonaguni Monument? submerged rock formation. Let's see, what's this? A submerged rock formation off the coast of Yonaguni, the southernmost of the Ryukyu Islands in Japan, lies approximately 100 kilometers east of Taiwan. So these people are saying that the rocks that are formed are natural. They're formed in a natural formation. But some people think it was like a submerged city? Or a submerged... Well, let's see. I mean... I don't know what that is, but I've already shown you pictures of basalt columns that were horizontal. I mean, these are just how rocks form. Sometimes they form in columnar, and then they form in plates. I mean, the cube is a natural solid. The cube is a natural platonic solid, so the cube is a form that will show up naturally in nature. This looks trippy, though. Is that really what it looks like? That is kind of trippy looking, gotta say. But it is possible for rocks to form in straight lines. I find them all the time. I find rocks all the time in my backyard that have a 90-degree angle. And nobody cut those rocks. That's trippy looking. For sure. Fascinating. But see how this rock right here is like a triangle shape? I find triangle shaped rocks all the time on my property. We call them pizza rocks. And my daughter at one time was all into painting rocks, and I have rocks in my backyard that are painted like pizza rocks in my backyard, because we find these all the time, and my daughter wanted to paint them to look like pizza. So it's like, you know, when you see this stuff pop up enough times naturally on your own, and you know that everything's fractal, it starts to not be such a mystery, some of these things. Not to saying that there aren't any mysteries, but some of it is not. Some of it just is not. What is that? Is there really a pyramid under there? Or is this just a fake picture? Eh. This is definitely crazy looking, though. Lava is definitely real. Yeah, the golden ratio thing is insane. Ollie, are you just now coming into the golden ratio? Great. Learn it. No, you'll start to notice it everywhere. Our faces, our entire body, everything follows the golden ratio. Watch this. I'll show you this right here. Everything follows the golden ratio. Even our face, look. So here you can get these little calipers. Okay, they're golden ratio calipers, right? So this is the 1 to the 6.618. Okay? And, you know, if you put it up to your face, look. Your face follows the golden ratio. My eyeball is right there, right? Even right here. Let's see if I can do it. You know, that space between your eyes and your eyeball. See if I could do it. Right? Right here. You know? Between your nose and your mouth and your chin. Everything follows the golden ratio. It's everywhere. In a star. I don't have any shapes. Let's see. What else can I show you? Well, I mean, put your arm in the length of your hand. You know, I mean, just it's everywhere. So you'll see it. No. No, not. But I mean, that just tells you it's because you are all, it's the signature of the creator. And like you can take that thing out. You can take your little calipers out. You know what they call it? You look up golden ratio calipers on Amazon or whatever, and now they're called eyebrow whatever because everybody uses them for eyebrows. But before they were eyebrow eyebrow calipers or whatever. They call them eyebrow balance ruler, right? Is what it's called. But all it is a little thing that helps you follow the golden ratio so that you follow your proportions and you make your eyebrows the right size. And then you can take it outside and you can hold it up to almost anything. You can find the golden ratio in almost anything. Even like an acorn. If you look at an acorn and the top of the acorn from the bottom, okay, that 1 to 168 where the top of the little cap of the acorn, that's the golden ratio. It's everywhere. Still recovering from Flattoberfest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, you have to, well, I don't say you have to, but for me, when I look at all this stuff, I try to look at it through to imagine it from the creator's point of view. Like, why does something look this way? Why does everything look the same? Why does this look like that, behave like this, behave like that? I don't know. That's just how I look at stuff. I could be wrong. I know everybody likes the fantasy stories better. They like this, they like that, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, and there could be large petrified trees. I don't think they're going to be this size. Just my opinion. Some of it is just, the relationship of the creation to the golden ratio and the randomness of the natural entropy put forth by that ratio in everything. All right. So anyway, yeah, reality filter. So, I think I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to give a plug to Jaren's event, the True Earth Mount Meru Online Virtual Summit. Dang it, I went to the wrong scene. There it is. True Earth Mount Meru Online Virtual Summit, which is this coming weekend, just in a few days, Friday and Saturday, November 11th and 12th, so 11/11 and 11/12. It's featuring all of these fine folks here: Amanda Vollmer, Dave Murphy, Chris Crum, Alex Stein, I don't know about this guy, Owen Benjamin, David Weiss, Peggy Hall, Austin Whitsitt, Jaron Campanella, Bob Nodell, Sean Hibbler, Conspiracy Music Guru, David Avocado Wolf, Brian from High Impact Flicks, Caleb Davis, Marty Leeds, Ben of Taboo Conspiracy, and Iru Landucci. And you can use coupon code Karen50 to get 50% off on your ticket. However, I will say that I don't want you to use my code. If you are going to buy tickets to the True Earth Mount Meru Virtual Summit, go to the website and look up the code of one of these fine people who are doing a presentation, and whichever person you like the most, use their code. Use their code to get 50% off and support them in their work. or if you're really indifferent and you love me so much, you can also use Karen50. But I highly doubt that's the case. But there it is. So check it out. It's this weekend. I got my ticket to the True Earth Mount Meru Summit, so I'll be watching. I used Dave Murphy's code to buy my ticket. I did not even use my own code. So anyway, there you go. That's what's going on this weekend. So support your local flat earthers, y'all. Also, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we are going to do we'll do a, whatchamacallit. Baby shower. Baby shower. Yeah, Bob50. There you go, Cammy. You can use Bob's code, use Bob50. Support the people in the actual event. And there you go. My eyebrows on fleek. You know what's so funny, Annie D? You know how funny it is that you said that? I'm not even gonna lie. The thing I used on my eyebrows is called eyebrows on fleek. Brows on fleek, dual eyebrow. That's fucking funny that you said that. How funny is that? When you cut a tree down, you get piles on one side of the sawdust. Okay, but now you're opening a door of like a giant with a saw and that whole like you have to prop up that whole story with a whole host of evidence to support that there is an existence of a giant that was that big and had a saw that big, and where's the rest of the tree? Like, it, to me, that just doesn't fit, but okay. Cheers, Carrie. Thank you for the tip. You are the best. I'm sorry, I don't get any enjoyment out of watching that guy. That's just my opinion. No, for Austin and Kai here in Carolina. That was more to my local people. Although if you wanna give Austin Whitsitt and Kai a baby shower gift, why don't you go find Austin's PayPal or whatever and go throw him some money. Go tip him, send him $20 or something. And help them with, and help give them a gift for their newborn baby. And happy birthday, Bob. Yes, happy birthday, Bob. There, I'll close the call. I'm closing the call board. So there's no more buzzing. Yeah. Cheers, Marty. Was Marty? I think I saw Marty earlier. Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Thank you to everybody who came to Flattoberfest 2022. I hope to see you all at Flattoberfest 2023. Like I said, as soon as I get those good videos of the rest of the event, we'll be posting them up. And we also have a bunch of interviews and stuff that were recorded at the event. There's a bunch of, stuff that didn't make it on my live stream that will be being released later in the videos for people who weren't at the event to get a better feel of how it was there and what went on. I definitely will be releasing more stuff as I get it in. Also, you can join me and Mark Sargent back here tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific for Strange World Live. And I think that's it for now. And then Saturday we'll be doing anti-religious scripture study again, although I don't know if we'll see. Anyway, I don't want to start rambling again. But thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate you all. Appreciate your support. Appreciate everything. And I will see you soon. Oh, hold on. Where is my thing? Here we go. Shout out to Paraplegics Coffee. When you just can't stand for crappy coffee, Call or text 410-708-762 for Paraplegics Coffee. Support your local Flat Earthers, people. All right, y'all. See you soon. Thanks for being here. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations. And I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.